Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the recovery addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy. The dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
Is that correct?
Dati mihi Anglican for his verbal body.
That's literally not true.
I didn't ask you to interrupt me. Oh, for Trump's sake.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. Wow, the camera's a little dark there, isn't it? What happened there? I'm the recovery addict. Let's, a little better? A little color to it. Good morning, good morning. Hope you're all doing great. It is a fine morning. It is a fine morning. I'm not a cat. Have to just check one tweet really quickly.
In front of the Walmart.
We have a bit of time. Set an alarm for 9:59 this morning.
Done.
Okay, 9:59 this morning. We have to
Somebody just sent me a video of
start
roaches fighting.
our
I
timer.
don't know who won.
Because 9 a.m. Central is when the jury is going to continue deliberations in the bad roommate trial, the Nichole Rice trial, which will be interesting. It'll be interesting. Blackbird says, "I saw your court TV spot." That is awesome. I wanted to keep it secret because honestly, I didn't know if they were going to use my video. But Court TV did reach out.
I don't like podiums, Your Honor.
I don't like podiums either. Did reach out to me and a couple other great creators and said, "Hey, would you be willing to share some of your feelings and recollections from the O.J. Simpson verdict and the chase and the things around it?" So I sent in a couple of videos, and they used it. They used it in a commercial. Now, don't get your hopes up. I am not the star of the show, nor do I even think I appear in the show itself. I'm just there for the commercial for it. I mean, they might use it in the show, but I doubt it. They've got great content going. It's 30 years ago. 30 years ago, the O.J. Simpson verdict. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. Yet most of us can remember where we were when it happened. So it was awesome. If you want to see the spot, I think it's on some of the tweets that Court TV put out. I think we linked to it on our Facebook page. It's got some of your other favorite creators in there. Courtroom Confidential. Josh is in there to start. He's on the open. The brilliant, Hollywood image of him. We've got Ada K on there. A couple other, just some great people. So it was awesome. It was wonderful. It was big. It's something I've always wanted to do because that is a big thing.
It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us.
It was really big. Let's see. We have a couple other things to go over. First of all, that it is
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump Day! Welcome to Wednesday. I got 2 thumbs up for that one. It is hump day. That was probably the best one ever. It was perfect. So 10 out of 10. Do not recommend. So sorry about that. For those who are wearing headphones, I apologize. It is hump day. We're halfway through the work week. We made it this far. It's all downhill from here, and then it's the weekend. I have every one of my kids who's home except for one giving me 2 thumbs up right now in the studio. Every single one. That's like 8 thumbs up right there. I thought I broke my phone. It was stuck. I refreshed the screen. You were still yelling. I see all the comments. I see that. Welcome. Todd in recovery. Congratulations on 60 days. That is awesome. Congratulations. Thanks for keeping us in the loop with each accomplishment, with each day you add to that streak. That is amazing. Thank you, Todd. Let's see. Came in the wrong time, says Kate. Came in at the wrong time. Not bad for a guy who just had a birthday. I figure at my age, there are some things I can't do very well, but I can still yell. So I got that. I've got that going for me. Is chat on screen? Yes, it is. It is now. Which is appropriate because I'm about to welcome Rianne K., who was first in chat today. Rianne, congratulations. You were first in chat. The first person to walk into the quiet room and shout hi. And then all this happened. So I'm blaming you for the hump day yell and everything else and everything that comes after. And as because you're guilty of that, you're also guilty. We're going to sentence you to internet ownership as a punishment to teach you a lesson. So, Rianne K., you're going to do great. Just take care of everything IP related worldwide for everybody, and no one will complain other than that. Nope, I need to tear off one of my jokes on the, it's now the 26th. Got fired from my job as a taxi driver. Turns out nobody thought I was fair. That was a good one. Let's see. Chris Wallace gifted a membership. Somebody who asked me a question, how long did the jury deliberate? This is what I have. By my count, I show it was 4 hours and 37 minutes and 25 seconds and 0.36 hundredths of a second. I know that's very precise. Adriel Hillis says, were you talking about the Court TV documentary that premieres in 3 days? Yes, the Court TV, O.J. Simpson, looking back 30 years, where were you? That's the one. So if you go to Court TV on Twitter, they have they've got a couple versions. There's a teaser version, which doesn't have any creators in it. And then they've got a creator version, which has all of us in it. And I think I'm on there. If you pause the screen at the right split second, I think I made it on the screen 3 times. It's very quick. Quick enough that you can't even read my subtitle that says, Scott, recovery addict. It's very fast, but my voice is on there, and it's enough that you can recognize me. But I didn't get the FaceTime that the golden child of LawTube, Courtroom Confidential, Josh got at the very beginning. He just looks good on camera. He's got it. Anyway, it was awesome. It was awesome, and I'm pretty happy with it. So, all right, the deliberations yesterday were long. There's a possibility that they had pizza, and my other name is Dwayne. It's a possibility they had pizza last night and said, okay, now that we've been fed, we're going to go home, sleep on it, and come back in the morning with a verdict. That's always a possibility. A lot of times a jury might say, we think we're there. Just let me mull it over tonight, and then we'll go on. So, but that they are not going to start deliberating again for another 36 minutes. So when the clock strikes 10 on the East Coast, it will be 9 o'clock. Is that right? Let me double check. Yeah. At 10 o'clock Eastern time, they're going to start deliberating again. So we'll start the timer there, and then we'll wait and see. I'm not sure if the judge is going to call the court to order and kick the day off in style or what. But did I hear that Josh and Scott are in a feud? That's what I heard. Yeah, we're in a feud. He sent me nothing bundt cakes today, and I'm fighting with my diet. So he's winning. Josh is winning for sure. But it was awesome. It's awesome. Ada K as well. I was on the channel. I was on the commercial. I didn't get to talk to her yet, but that was really cool. Has it ever happened to have a day with no birthday? Not since we started singing. We've always found someone to sing to. As a matter of fact, speaking of singing, I'm missing it. Let me scroll back up a little bit, and we do have some birthdays to celebrate this morning. There they are. Scroll down, and they'll come back. Josh, thank you very much for that. Let's see. Sandy, Nicole, Amy, and April all celebrating their birthdays. Wow. All women, I believe all women celebrating today. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's a great day to celebrate. All right, let's see. Is there anything else? I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything else. How do you get on the birthday list? Mine was Monday. Christina, I'm so sorry. Can we sing to you? I'll add you today, Christina Bingham. I'll add you today. The birthday list at the very beginning, I think Facebook is the easiest way to do it. If you're in our Facebook group, you can get yourself added to the list. It stores your birthday, so don't provide any other information like your address, social security number, mother's maiden name, anything like that, because then we can really steal identity. No, we don't want to do that. It does store your birthday, and your YouTube name is all we need, so we can sing to you on the appropriate day. So, Christina, we will add you. If I can, got to keep you on the screen so I can see it. There we go. All right. Everybody take a deep breath. Wait, stand up, shoulders back, project your voice to the back room, take a deep breath, warm up, blend your voice with, let's start over. This is never going to work. I have to say it the right way. Everyone stand up, put your shoulders back, project your voice to the back of the room, blend your voice with your neighbors, warm up with me if you will. La 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 la. There we go. We're going to sing happy birthday to Sandy, Nicole, Amy, April, and Christina. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Sandy, Nicole, Amy, April, and belated Christina. Happy birthday to you. Now everybody gets to dance for a couple verses, which is great. I would say that dancing is my exercise weight loss routine, dancing to the happy birthday song. But you know I don't dance very much during it. Actually, getting my hair cut is my weight loss program. To everyone who's celebrating their birthday today, Sandy, Nicole, Amy, April, Christina, you get to celebrate again. I hope you have a happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day. It is your special day. There are many wonderful days. Today is your special day. Thank you very much. There are a million places you could have been, a million people you could have celebrated with, but you've chosen to be here with us. The privilege, the pleasure, the honor is ours. Hopefully we can make your day a little better, a little specialer. Begin that by helping yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP, Village Inn, Waffle House, McDonald's, Andy's Grill, Tammy Dunlap's house, and Bob Evans. There we go. I like to do the bump bumps. You can join with me. Ready? Bum, 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 bum.
Happy birthday. You look good.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Lots of bump bums for the birthday. So a little bit of bass there. My niece and nephews turn 18 tomorrow, says Tisha S. That's our key. We're about to do the big drum solo finish. Everyone grab your air drum stick, sit down to your air drum set, get ready to do a big solo to finish off the birthday song. Beautiful. Beautiful. You guys are wonderful. All right. Happy birthday. Thank you. Where do we go from here? Don't forget free gifts at Ultra, Dutch Bros, and Starbucks. Wow. More to the list. You can probably talk them out of a free donut at Krispy Kreme's.
Your Honor.
I don't like podiums either. All right. There's the form for the birthday shout out. You can get on the form. Even if it's not your birthday immediately, you can put yourself on the form for when it is your birthday. So you're here now, but you might not remember the morning of your birthday because you're sleeping in like you should.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
I don't know how long we can keep doing the birthday thing because it is going to only grow. And there will be a point where there's like 20 people per day, and we won't have enough verses to fit everybody in. We'll have to have a channel, we'll open up a channel just for birthdays. It will be Recovery Addict Sings Happy Birthday, and all will be is just birthday, all day long. Kiki's Garden gifted membership. Kiki, thank you very much. Hope you're doing great. Hope your garden is doing great. Happy spring.
I saw a chicken fight.
Shame on you, sir.
You must soldier on. There's no quit in you. Donna, I do grow out my goatee once or twice a year, and now I've just decided this is the time. This is the time it's coming out. I usually start it a little bigger than I want to keep it. That way, as it fills in, I can sort of trim it down and shape it. So I'm still at the little too big style, but we'll get there. Keshet says, how do we get here? 26 months OG. Feels like yesterday I stumbled into the DB trial coverage with 100 people in chat, and Ari said hello to me, and I never left. That's pretty much how it works.
In front of the Walmart.
That's how it works. We already dropped the roll call. I'm sorry, Kaylee. Kaylee with the Rose. Kaylee Rose. What is the podium command? It's just exclamation point podium.
I'm not a camel.
That's how it goes. Let's use AI. We could.
I don't like podiums, Your Honor.
There's the podium command. Let's see. Where was it? I was answering something else, but I forgot. All right, we've got a little bit before court starts. Thoughts on this one? First of all, we had.
I object.
I think we're still with the majority. I think 48% of the people who were polled thought we would get a verdict today on Wednesday. Now, we did get an extra hour and a half of deliberation time above what I thought we would get yesterday, but I still think that Wednesday is probably very likely. Kayla Newell says, I've sang Whitney Houston to my boss and then yelled hump day. I'm at a salon. That's awesome. I hope there are cameras, Kayla. I hope there are cameras. That is great. What a great way to start the day. And I will. Is that the right one? Will always love you. Is that Whitney Houston?
Squirrel.
Who sings that one? I want today's hump day on a command. Probably too long, but it was perfect. That would save my voice a little bit. Samantha, thanks for putting the link up there. We talked about this. I did a little commercial.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
I filmed. Court TV reached out to me and said, would you be interested in doing a little commercial? We're trying to put something together for O.J. Simpson. And I filmed a couple things, and they used parts of them they might use more, I don't know, but they used parts of them in an advertisement. And I'm stoked. I'm just like over the moon. There's a couple, bucket list things that I wanted to have happen. I wanted to be on a commercial. I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be on TV. I wanted video I shot to be on TV.
Back, taking it easy.
And that's just one more of these bucket list items that I've been able to check off. I was on TV when I was working at a news station, and I was in the news at the news desk. We were doing a live newscast, and I'm running the camera
in front of the Walmart,
and I'm the technical director that day. And so I'm the guy who sort of stands right next to the camera and tells the anchors where to look and does the countdowns, and tells people when to wrap, and 30 seconds and everything, and countdown, ready, switch, and go. I was that guy.
The apocalypse may be upon us.
And it's fun. And we've got a headset on, and one of our anchors moves and disconnects the microphone from his transmitter that he's wearing on his belt. And the director says, "You've got to go fix it now. Just go up." And her job is to cut to the other anchor, so that I'm not showing up. They're supposed to switch to the other person. So I run up to plug it in, and I'm full just on. He just decides to lean over to the other anchor and use her mic like they're cuddling. It was a funny video, but I'm on camera plugging in his mic, and then his mic works, and it's all good. So I made it on TV that way. Video I shot was played on CNN. All the big news stations. When there was a windstorm many years ago, and I filmed up on the college campus, people getting blown down the stairs through this massive windstorm. It was like a tornado, but it was just straight force winds. And the clock tower on campus, the brick tower swaying in the wind, and police yelling at everyone to get away, and windows blowing out. So that's how I got my video that I shot on television. It was funny because I uploaded that to YouTube when I got to my class as I ran across campus. And by the time class was out, I had messages from all these major news stations. Can we use your video if we credit you? And I'm saying yes to all of them. And every single one of them credited me wrong. Not a single person spelled my name right. Some people didn't credit me at all, but it was my video and I know it. So that
I don't
was
like
it.
podiums.
And then of course now we have the commercial with Court TV. So that's the win-win-win. All right, let's see.
I think I'm about to catch a whooping.
Have them send someone with more experience.
Yes, we need someone with more experience. All right, so where are we now? I don't know where we should start. There are a couple things going on. I know Judge Simpson has a bench trial happening that may or may not be interesting. I don't know what it's about. It's in break right now. Subject matter jurisdiction, yes.
When are we going to break for lunch, Judge?
I love Ian Runkle. Oh my goodness, what an amazing guy! His last thumbnail. I got a crazy cease and desist. Let's laugh at it together. Ian is just great. You cannot bully that guy into a corner.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Oh man! All right. Let's see. I think we're waiting for court. It was a fun video. I love news and reporters blooper reels. Oh my goodness. Remember the classic reporters that kept saying rakes and livers about 6 times she couldn't get it right? I didn't see that one.
Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible.
I've seen a few mistakes, especially when the worst ones are when they say something that they shouldn't. Like they say what word would they think goes there, but that's not the right word, and it's something you can get sued over. Really enjoyed that Runkle video. Runkleisms are things. Yes, Greeners. That was the one. That was one of the sayings.
Send someone with more experience.
All right. Runkle covering the Sov citizen cease demand was a hoot. And Nusky says, first he came for the roll call and I didn't speak out because I was late. Then he came for the grays and I didn't speak out because I was in slow mode. Then he came for the birthday song. No one could speak out because we were all gone. It's funny. Greener says, I'm glad you caught that. Otherwise it just gets banned and you get a timeout. But no, I understand what clip you're talking about. All right, today there's some court cases that are in jury selection right now that we might be jumping to next. But they probably will start. One of them is probably going to start on Thursday, and so we'll wait on that one. Just make sure everything is in place and do a little more homework on that side. Let's see. To Canada. Oh, you want...
Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible. I apologize.
I don't know where that sound went. Where would Canada be? Is it this guy?
I have the right to protect myself, don't I?
No, that's not it. I need to relabel this one. So it's Runkle.
This police unit...
That's not it.
Because we here in Canada hate you. And hope for bad things for you because we hate you.
There it is. I'm gonna label that thing right now so I don't forget, because I've said that a million times. Roadcaster Pro. Yeah, Sound Bank 4, Sound 7. Don't let me forget that. Bank 4. Oh, I don't have the plug. Why did I not have the plug plugged in? I can't do it right now. It's not plugged in. I need to go dig up cords from over there and plug one more sound in. Barb says, I truly hate that soundbite. He is funny. He is so funny. All right. Thoughts on the case. Thoughts on the bad roommate trial. What if you were defense? Are you happy with the deliberations so far? I mean, I think the longer they deliberate, the better, right? I know the Canada thing's a joke, but it can get you some hate. It can. But luckily, we're all friends, and especially we understand Ian Runkle and the fact that I don't think he hates anyone other than UPS, who he was talking about there. Defense has it in the bag, says JT. It's the best hump day you've ever done. It's because we did, well, I don't know. The hump day was why we had such a good birthday song, I think. That was the warm-up. For me, the longer they deliberate means a holdout or two. Regina, are you thinking guilty or not guilty? Ian's the least hateful guy second to RA. We love him. He's amazing. She's going to walk free. Tony, I don't see very much more beyond what they had before. And if you've got her, what they have now is somebody saying she said I did it, but she also says I'm not guilty. So you have to believe one of the two things, because she pled not guilty, but she said I did it. So if you're basing it all off that, you're believing half of what she says, right? I say she might have done it, but I have too much reasonable doubt. There was nothing before. I mean, she has no criminal record before, nothing after. So does somebody just snap like that, commit a murder, and then go back to their normal life? Sassy Southern Witch, welcome to the gallery. Great to have you here. Look at that blue courthouse by your name. Now you're released from slow mode when it happens. Thank you. Hello to everyone from Ontario, Canada. Colleen, welcome. Thanks. We love Canadians. We have quite a few members of the Canadian population represented in chat. An 18-year-old, Ashley, I hear this. An 18-year-old to leave no mess or anything is crazy. Dexter level murder. I wonder if they didn't test properly. Well, they did collect the bucket of water, or the Tupperware dish full of water that was in the sink, in empty water bottles, which I realize you can get empty water bottles that are sterile, okay? Because before water is bottled, the bottles are sterile. But if there was water in them before, and then you dump them out and then fill them with water again, haven't you just, unless you like dried them out perfectly and cleaned them and sanitized them, haven't you just contaminated everything that you've put in it? I mean, what if it was like Poland spring water, which, you know, I've heard people say it's collected from a gutter. I don't believe it, but I'm just saying not every bottled water is the same. Not every bottled water is good. Can't get past the unknown DNA, nothing but circumstantial evidence. But then again, the snowplow driver was guilty as heck. Yeah, the unknown DNA, and we learned it was really spelled out a little bit better that they do believe that she did just take a shower and then come out of the shower and was killed. So the DNA under the fingernails after she took a shower. I don't know how you girls wash your hair. I don't know, but I use my fingernails. I've got a call coming. Hang on one second. I'm not plugged in. Hey, this is RA. Who's on the phone?
Fractured 23.
Hey, Fractured 23. How are you doing?
Good. I have a theory on, because we were talking about 18-year-olds and, like, you know, got a Dexter level, right? Would it really be Dexter level, though, if Anita was in her room and Nichole came up behind her and stabbed her from behind? She wouldn't have any blood on her other than on her hand. Because, like, are you following me? My brain's trying not to brain right now.
So the problem is her head was towards the window, which is also towards the door, on the door side of the room. So she would have had to go across the room, which is only like 9 foot by 10 foot, be on the far wall away from the closet, and stab her from behind in the heart while she's kneeling on the bed, and she collapses right there instantly. Stab her twice, and there's no sign of struggle. I mean, this is, I don't know. First of all, I was shocked that there's no sign of struggle. How do you get 2 stabs and no sign of struggle? Probably the first one being fatal. The first stab being fatal, the second stab being overkill. But
right. Well, and like the only way that I can think, like, because there's no blood anywhere other than on a bed, right? Like, did they find blood on the floor?
No, there was no sign of anything until they, saw that she was dead. And they rolled her over, and then they knew that she was stabbed. That's the first injury sign they saw. There may have been blood underneath her on the bed, but
right, and that's where I'm thinking, like, whoever, whether it be Nichole or whoever did this, I feel like they had to come, like, be behind her. And like, I know for me, like, if I'm in an argument with anyone, like my kids, any person, I move around a lot, like, call it a trauma response, but I pace the room. I'll go in other rooms. Like, I'm just constantly moving. So maybe there was a conversation, like if we're saying no sign of, like, whatever, maybe there was a conversation happening in that room. So they were like moving around or whatever. But in order, like, the only way that it makes any sense in my brain is that she was stabbed from behind, because how else is there no blood anywhere else in the room? Like, it doesn't, like, I don't know. That's just my thought. I just thought I'd run it by you.
I don't know either. She would have to have been kneeling on the bed like that. There's no way you position a body after they died, to be kneeling on the bed and then lean forward, laying on the pillow, covered with the blanket. I'm sure the blanket was after, but moving a body without getting blood everywhere that was just got stabbed in the chest, in the heart. There's no way you position a body that way. That she had to have been kneeling on the bed when she was stabbed, in my mind.
Right. Shelley Kelly has a good point too. Like, could she have unalived herself? I don't know about 2, but I don't know. It's so weird that there's, like, normally we have, like, murder cases. There's blood everywhere, right? Like, or at least in a couple of places, there's blood in a bowl in the bathroom, which I guess that's the tell that somebody else.
I think,
like I don't know. It's so weird.
As far as the self-deletion goes, that is a very difficult thing to do. And especially with 2 stab wounds, they showed that they said there was no signs of hesitation in the stab wounds, which is almost involuntary, right? When there's pain, our body is conditioned to respond without there being, massive amounts of some sort of hallucinogenic drug or something in her system. I just couldn't see that happening, that she just one day just has the fortitude and willpower to do that to herself, and then clean the knife and then cut the window and not bleed anywhere. I just don't see it. I don't see that could happen.
Well, and that's what I was saying, is that, like, there would be no blood in the bathroom, and there wouldn't be her blood on, like, I thought whoever did it was behind her, because, like, and maybe she was at the bed, maybe they forced her over to the bed. I don't know. I wasn't there. But, like, my brain has I couldn't sleep last night trying to figure out how there's no blood. Like, all I do is watch true crime, and there's always blood. There's always blood. Or there's sign of a cleanup, and there's no sign of a cleanup either. So
I will say, I think there was zero idea in the victim's mind that she was about to get stabbed. I think it was a complete surprise. There would have been some sign of struggle. There would have been something out of place. There would have been, but no sign of struggle means just out of the blue. Either surprised by somebody she did not see was there, and I don't know, with our headphones involved, she couldn't hear somebody or something. There, it had to be something like that, or the person that was there, she just did not expect at all to do this.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, I just wanted to run that by you because I like to talk to you guys. All right, I'll see you in
Thank you,
chat.
Fractured.
Love y'all.
We'll see
Bye.
you. Bye. What's with the audio levels? Am I too quiet? She too loud? Let me know. I missed the chat. I can adjust those. Yes, you're too quiet. How about now? Is that a little better? I've been tweaking these settings for a while now.
Call from A. Blaylock.
I missed the names. Is it K?
A. Blaylock.
A. How are you doing? This is R.A. How are you doing? First time I talked to you.
I'm good. I rarely comment in chat because I truly do work from home and truly work while I listen.
You're one of the few. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I think so. My comment on the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, I had a lot of migraines and female issues. And there were times when I didn't feel good, which is what they said about her. If she didn't feel well, she was going to take a shower.
Mm-hmm.
I would just get in the shower and let hot water run over my head, trying to help the headache go away, just to relax. Then I would go get in bed. I didn't necessarily wash my hair, do anything but get in a hot, steamy shower. So that makes me think how maybe the DNA could still be there. I don't know, possibility.
Okay, that makes sense. I can see that. I know I've seen people, my wife has taken a shower where she did not wash her hair. She's like, I just need to rinse off real quick, and I don't have time to do my hair. And so it's just going to be a quick rinse and no hair wash. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and I would not even take the soap. I mean, just literally stand in a hot, steamy shower and then get out and go lay down. And I think she got surprised. I think she was laying down trying to relax maybe and just was a total surprise and didn't see anything coming. Yeah. And I personally think Nichole is guilty. I don't know that they proved it 100%, but I personally think she's guilty.
Well, she's definitely done a few things to cause suspicion, right?
Yes, exactly.
And that doesn't help her at all. But I can't convict somebody just on them not behaving the way I think they should when they find out bad news about somebody they know. Right?
I agree, but I think she's going to get away with it, but I think she's guilty.
All right.
So,
hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the call.
I just wanted to put that in about the DNA and how it could possibly be there. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell your boss that you took a break from your work today just to call in.
Yeah, that's okay. I've been going since about 6:30, so I think it was time for one.
It was. Thank you so much. Good to hear from you.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye. It's interesting. I know they said about the shower, there's no evidence of her taking a shower. What they did if you listen to the closing statement, she says, we put that together that she took a shower because we found the text messages. So I guess they could say there was evidence. She was in her bathrobe. She was, and so she wasn't dressed or in pajamas or something like that. And also they found the text messages saying, I'm going to take a shower, and then the other one wasn't responded to after that. But they said there would be no evidence of a shower because it had been nearly 24 hours since she had died.
Call
so
from
she would have,
Dr. Bullbutter.
Her hair and everything would have
To
dried.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Dr. Bullbutter, thank you for the gift, by the way. I got that on Venmo. I appreciate that. It's a
You
DoorDash gift.
You are so welcome. I was only asking because I wanted to make sure that you saw it. Like, I was like, he's getting so many gifts, I don't even know if he's going to see it.
I did.
And
I'm excited. I want to use it on Panda Express today.
I felt so stupid. I was like, okay, I don't even know if he's going to see it. And maybe I should have sent like some other thing. Maybe I should have sent something on YouTube or whatever. I was trying to do something different.
It's wonderful. I love it. Thank you very much. It was quite generous, and I'm excited to get myself some orange chicken and some honey walnut shrimp with chow mein. And I've actually had the app open this morning, thinking the store doesn't open till 10, but now I'm excited.
I just wanted to do something different for you.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I know that you were getting plenty of gifts. I was trying to think of something different. Anyway, and it's not creative, but I was trying to think of something different that I could do. Anyway, the reason that I'm calling is that I not only think Nichole is guilty, she is guilty.
Okay.
She is guilty, Scott. She is.
What was it for you that
she confessed to 3 people?
Okay, well,
Scott,
we have people that confess to crimes and are proven not guilty by DNA.
But
that just means they're insane.
Not only to one person, to 3 people. To 3 different people at 3 different times. Scott, listen to me. If I confess to a murder, if I confess to a murder at all, first of all, to you, please call the police. Please put me in jail.
I'm just going to start recording this right now. Is that okay? I'm just going to hit this button right here. Now it's red. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can start.
If I confess to murder, I have not murdered anyone.
Oh,
but
you say that now.
If I were to confess to murder, please put me in jail.
Okay.
But if I confess to murder to 3 different people at 3 different times, please know that she did it. How much more obvious does the girl need to be?
Let me bounce something by you, because I hear you. That definitely weighs quite heavily in this equation.
She told people.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more.
She also told people she's not guilty.
Yeah, but telling people you're not guilty is just trying to stay out of jail.
Let me bounce this by you, and I don't have a good example of this, but I hope somebody can relate and see where I'm going with this.
Okay, help me.
Young women are oftentimes very self-conscious and wonder about their image and how they're perceived by other people. And,
right.
And
I was a young woman, so I get that.
I was not. I have one as a child, but I know that they can be very aware of that, much more than I believe young boys are, who are oblivious to anything that's going on. They're very much in touch with that, and in an environment where they feel overlooked and feel unseen, they might do something that isn't smart in the long run, to try to be seen, to try to let somebody to try to be important, to try to be relevant.
But I understand that. I hear you. I understand that. Like, if she wanted to appear strong, like if she sort of like people that wanna take credit for crime in order to beef up their street cred.
Okay, yeah, I can see that as well, but I don't think that was what she was doing. But
I get that. She wanted to be noticed. I get that. She was jealous of Anita. Like, they kept saying that. I think Anita was very popular with people and very sweet. And everyone liked her. And that would lead into Nichole being overlooked and feeling jealous and all of those things. So that would make sense with what you're saying. But you have to understand that one of those 3 people that she told was her aunt.
Yeah. Her second mom.
You don't look for that with your aunt, your second mom, whom you're already getting attention from. You don't do that. And you don't give everyone details that were holdbacks at the same time. Like, Scott, when you add all of the pieces together, not individually.
I've, without going into too much detail, I've been aware of just a random person near a crime that happened, of things that police said were holdbacks, that they say, oh, we didn't tell anybody about this. And like, everybody knew. You never said it. Everybody knew. The holdback thing doesn't ring well for me. This is a small town. We already know we've got all sorts of issues with the police department on the investigation side. Stuff that should be secret that's not, stuff that is secret that's not there. We've got issues, and I just can't see the holdback as being the gotcha.
She confessed to 3 different people.
She didn't confess to the aunts.
I just can't get over. I just can't. I can't get past it. I can't. No matter what, I can't get past it. Yeah. When you take out all of the other people for the reasons that the prosecution said, and please, and everybody's saying, oh, it was Marty and he took his life and everything else. Don't do this to this man who already went through enough. He went through enough. He's been through enough. No. If Marty had done it, he wouldn't have reported the screen to the police. He wouldn't.
Marty doesn't have motive for me. There's no motive. Why would you commit a murder at your workplace? Okay, first of all, you're going to be a suspect.
Of all the places where you're going to be looked at, why would you?
Yes, you're the guy who has a key. You're there all the time.
Right, you would pick a different place because you wouldn't. Yeah.
Dr. Bullbutter, I appreciate you being passionate and sticking to this one and sharing your feelings on this one. I realize you are on the guilty side. About half of chat is with you.
And I may be the only one.
No, you're about, it's about 50-50.
I don't know, Scott. That doesn't mean I think that the jury's going to go that way. I think the jury is probably going to hang or go not guilty. But I believe that she's guilty. I believe she's guilty. I have believed that she's guilty for years, even before they brought the case.
If you can take the confessions out of the case,
well,
has the state proved it beyond the confessions for you?
Yeah, but why would you take
I'm just asking. If you can take those confessions out, if you can separate those.
Her DNA should have been everywhere. She lived there, and it wasn't. She cleaned up.
No one's was.
Yeah, but she cleaned up. Her DNA should have been there.
Anyone who cleaned up would have cleaned up the DNA.
But dude, you add all of those things together. It's like, why? She hated her. She said to people she hated her. She said to people she deserved to die. She called her those names that I will not repeat.
Appreciate that.
He did not want to go back to the scene.
Dr. Bullbutter, thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing this. I'm not changing my mind on this one right now.
I know. I'm not saying that I'm going to convince you. I'll probably never convince you of anything. But
I'm stubborn. It doesn't mean I'm not wrong.
No. Listen, I'm not trying to. I'm never trying to change anyone's mind particularly. I'm just trying to say, if somebody says they did it, like, I don't know. My first inclination is to believe them unless I can find a reason to not believe them.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Mental illness.
We're gonna leave it at that. I think, Dr. Bulwetter. Thank you very much. Appreciate you sharing your opinion, and I realize you might be right.
Much, Scott.
I might be wrong. You're welcome. Have a good day.
Take care.
We'll see you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I know there's somebody else who was trying to call and share an opinion as well. I may be wrong. I'm okay with that. I just like what I was trying to say. If you took the confessions out of the picture, I don't think the state's proven it. Here's that other call that was trying to come in. Just one second.
Call from Allie B from Tennessee.
Tennessee is on the phone. Who is this again?
Hey, it's Allie B from Tennessee.
Allie B, your phone's cutting out a little bit. So
I know. I hear that. Let me see it. I don't think that. What is up? It sounds like it's going through. Okay. Is it better?
It's better now. Yeah.
Okay. So, how are you, Scott?
I'm doing fabulous. How about you? How's school going?
Good. I have my interview on April 4th. So, yeah. So we'll see. I don't know what's on my phone.
It's doing better now.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me try. Is this better at all?
That's tons better. Did you take it out of the bucket? It sounds really good now.
I'm sorry. No. Oh my God. I know what the problem is. Hold on.
We'll wait.
Give me 1 second, Scott. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I have restarted the timer. I'm off by about 15 minutes off of the law and crimes timer. About 11 minutes. I'm 11 minutes.
Okay. Now?
Yeah, it got much worse.
Hello. Damn it. I'll call you right back.
Okay. Bye. We have started the timer. I'm showing about 4 hours and 45 minutes. The jury was supposed to start deliberating right at the top of the hour. That's when we started the timer. They might have started a bit late, and that's okay. So I'm showing 4:45. I think LNC is showing 4:25, which is 20-minute difference or so. But it's close enough. Let's see if Allie B got a better connection here.
Call from Allie B from Tennessee. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Allie, it got so bad. Are you there? Allie? No, it's gone.
Call from
Various and Sundry.
Various and Sundry. How are you doing? This is R.A.
Hey, good morning. I'm doing good. I'm on the road in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Wonderful. How's the weather up there?
It's really cloudy, but I don't think it's going to rain.
All right. Well, what's
I'm
on your mind today?
manifesting that.
Okay, you're just saying that. You're hoping it comes true. What's on your mind today?
So I have had many bad roommates in my time in college, and I've even had unsavory thoughts about those roommates. But if something actually happened to them, I would be fighting for my life to prove my innocence. I can't get over how she left town so soon after the murder happened, and I would understand moving to a different place. She even had family in the area, but she went all the way across the country.
Yeah. She moved twice, 2 different states, right? Within 2 months.
Yeah.
And then ended up moving back home.
Yeah. And she did go back when they asked her for interviews and stuff like that, but it didn't seem like she wanted to be around, So
there's a lot of that. If you look at her story, her reaction to finding out, not being interested, saying it's just my crackhead roommate, I'm not going, saying that she deserved it, all this. There's a ton of things where she just behaved wrong. I just can't see that as that would be supporting evidence. I can't see that as primary evidence. And I struggle with the confession. The confession, one of them was to a drunken ex and there's no record of him doing it before. So either it's the police just completely messed up this investigation, which introduces problems of its own, or this is fabricated for some reason, or somebody wants to remember. What if he wants his moment of fame? What if he remembers poorly at a drunk party?
Right. I think another thing for me is the whole keys situation. Like, there's only 4 people who had access to the room, and I couldn't square the fact that the knife that was used to cut into the window, and there being no evidence of somebody actually moving through the window screen. That also, I think that heavily pointed to whoever did it was inside the house already.
And the DNA on the screen. Yeah. That's definitely, the knife sounds like it was used to cut the window, then was washed. Yeah, that's really what cinched it for me, I think. But the fact that she was talking so much, well, I wouldn't say she talked so much, but the things that she was reported to have said is kind of wild. You know, like, even, again, like, I hated my roommate so bad. I really did. But I would at least pretend to care a little bit. Like, you know, I have that much self-awareness. So I would be like, you know, I should try to be sorry. You know, I wouldn't be like, she deserved it. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I don't know. I don't think I would be heartbroken if she's convicted. I mean, it's not that. I can see why you and Dr. Bullbutter and possibly all the jury would convict her. I can see that. I'm just not quite there. It's so close, but I'm not quite there.
I did also have one other thing, like, when the defense brought up one of the, that whole thing with the investigation into one of the officers who then passed away, I really struggled to see the point in that. Like, it was very loosely related. And then I felt like the state immediately, like, cut the whole argument with the context. Like, oh, it was one email that was deleted, but it was something that was supposed to be redacted. Like, that kind of thing.
It was,
you know?
It was an email went out that was not supposed to go out. It was supposed to be deleted because it's a law thing. They were actually following the law by deleting it. So, the state did look bad every time they tried to raise an issue like that and make it look like something it wasn't. Or the defense, looked bad every time they did that. The state had answers to all of those. But that's interesting. Maybe you might convince me, you guys. Keep calling. We'll see. I might come around to guilty after all.
I'm not really trying to convince, I'm just, I just, as someone who, again, I've had really bad roommates. I don't know about the rest of the chat, if they've also had bad roommates, or if you've had bad roommates that you've, like, been really, like, when you have a bad living situation, like, it puts you in a really dark spot sometimes. But, it's like the worst thing imaginable when those things actually happen. It's like a monkey's paw kind of thing,
Yeah. Thank you very much for bringing that up. I'm probably going to share a story about one of Mrs. R.A.'s roommates now, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Before I share the story, let me just say that Allie B in Tennessee sends a super chat because her phone wasn't working. Thank you, Allie, by the way. She says, well, I was trying to say it was weird. Her parents didn't testify on her behalf to confirm her alibi. Sorry, no clue what's wrong with my phone. I think aliens attacked it. Allie, that seems like, I mean, they could have, but remember, the defense doesn't have the burden. So,
Lone Star Living.
Let's see, we've got another call here.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
Lone Star Living, how are you doing? We'll take your call, and then I'll tell the story about my wife's roommate without sharing a name.
Okay. I am of two different lines of thinking on this, because do I think that she had something to do with this? Yes. Do I think that she did it alone? Maybe not. Do I think the state haven't had enough evidence to answer all of my questions that I could vote guilty? No.
Okay. I'm with you there. There's just not a lot of evidence that points to it. There is a ton of possibility. It's possible. Like, I would 100% keep her in my in my suspect pool if I were investigating this. There's no way I would take her out at this point. But just because I've crossed off the other people in my pool doesn't mean, well, it must be her. And I feel like that's what the state did.
I feel like if the state hasn't answered all my questions about what happened, I have reasonable doubt. And if I have reasonable doubt, then she can't be convicted.
Yeah.
And so to say guilty or not guilty is completely different than being, did you convince me that she should be convicted?
Yeah.
Two different things.
Good point. Good point. Thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye. Let me share a quick story about a bad roommate. When I was dating my wife, she had a roommate who shall not be named, that didn't like the way my wife would put her shoes by the front door when she came in. Like, take off the shoes as you go in the house. She didn't like that. And so she would open the door and she would throw Jen's shoes out in the yard. And I don't know why Jen has the patience of a saint. I would have retaliated in probably a not nice way. But she was a bad roommate, I think. Allie B from Tennessee says, almost 2 years. Love it here. I would greatly appreciate prayers for my interview to get into grad school April 4th. For those that don't know, Allie B is looking to go into some of the same line of work that the people like Dr. G Explains does. And that is awesome. She might be one of our experts that we call on cases here soon to help us analyze and understand what's going on in somebody's mind as we view them and watch their reactions and things like that. So Allie B will definitely add that to our list. Good luck to you. I think you're going to do fabulous. You've got a passion for it. I think you're going to do great. And congratulations on 22 months, OG. That is awesome. Dr. Bullbutter, your call was wonderful. Please never feel bad about that. Just because we don't agree does not make it a bad call. I would rather have people call that challenge my opinion and present something that make me think, and you do. So I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Timer's going. I'm a little bit off. I'm 20 minutes fast, according to the official count, but we're counting, keeping it anyway. Defense was weak. I don't mean the attorneys. I mean her not. Let's see here. Hang on a second. Let me read this. Let me listen who's on the phone.
Call from Amanda H.
Hey, Amanda H. Hang on just 1 second. Let me read what just me said here.
Okay.
Defense was weak. I don't mean the attorneys. I mean her not taking the stand, not almost screaming at the top of her lungs to prove she didn't do it, taking the life. I would be screaming, I'm innocent. I hear you, but I have to also say they don't have a burden. The burden of proof is on the state, and I don't think the state quite reached it. The state explained why she's a suspect, and I got that part. And Yo Mama, member for 23 months, also an OG, says, love it here. Great distraction from my current situation of starting my life over. Much appreciated. Yo Mama, thank you. Hopefully we can make that as smooth as possible for you. Amanda H.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Okay, so here's my 2 cents. I give it away for free.
Yes. Everyone get your hands out.
Don't even charge for it, you know? Right. So I think she is guilty of sin.
Okay.
I think there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. I think she did it. But for me, the state did not prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. You can see it in the chat. Look how split everybody is. Usually chat's pretty on. If we think it's guilty, it's everybody's, we're on. Mm-hmm. And we're totally split. So I don't see how they could find her guilty because we got look at our chat.
Yeah,
they did not prove it beyond a reasonable doubt that she did it.
Of her peers up there in North Dakota, it could be a hung jury.
Exactly, or not guilty. I went into this case. I had no knowledge on this case. Starting one.
I don't.
And it just didn't prove enough to me, even watching that. It's all circumstantial. It could have been, not, it was. Well, she, like when they said she was laying down in bed, when they stabbed her, she stabbed here, then she went across, stabbed over here. Anita sat up and then just collapsed over. I don't know. It just was not enough for me to buy it and say, oh yeah, she did it. No question about it. It's just not there for me.
Do you believe she was with her family that weekend? That she was hanging out with them? And
maybe a little bit of a point of it, but not to the amount of time she claimed she was.
She got up at 5 a.m., drove to her apartment, hid in the closet, stabbed, and then drove back to the family because she could hear the alarm clock from there.
Right. Hey, my alarm clock's awfully loud sometimes, so maybe, I don't know, I just, like I said, there's just not enough proof on state side that says, yes, this is it. She did it. There's no question about it, but that little bit of doubt in your mind is that beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
And if you have doubt, you cannot convict somebody. Or you shouldn't convict somebody. So let's just say that.
Yeah. I just feel like the state's case has too much of everybody else couldn't have done it, so it must be her.
Exactly. It's almost like it was a process of elimination, kind of like when you take that test in school, C's always the answer.
Yeah.
You start with the ones are not it. And that's what it seems like has happened here, and she's taken the brunt of it. Now, like I said, I think she did it. I think she tried to cut, think, oh, okay, I'll cut this. They'll think somebody broke in, blah, 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 all that. But I just, there's no one else that it could be unless it was somebody that nobody knows about, She had the motive, she had the means, she had the anger. I mean, they found, I can't remember now, now that I watched the cold justice deal, they said they found paperwork where she took anger management classes or something. Was that brought in the case, or was that from the cold justice?
That was just cold justice. I don't remember that.
Okay. But yeah, in cold justice, they found, and they showed pictures of it, where she had taken an anger management class. Well, that should have been, to me then, if that's the case, that needed to be brought out it should have been brought out in the case.
Interesting. So anger management, avid hunter, good with guns and knives.
I mean, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So, I don't know, but I just don't think the state proved it enough for me.
That's cool. Amanda H., thank you very much. Appreciate your thoughts on that
All
one.
right. All right. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
I'll make a good devil's advocate. I try to look at this from both sides. It is challenging sometimes. But I try to look at it from both sides and picture it. Try to put myself in the other side's shoes. I can tell you things I don't like about the defense. I don't like. Yes, I love that was spicy. I like a spicy defense, but I don't like that they were trying to make something out of things that weren't. I mean, it wasn't just a mountain or a molehill. They were saying that shadows were something substantial, and they weren't. There were some things that jumped out at me. They raised that I think were important, and I think that police investigation showing that there was shady things going on in the office, and it's not just the email deletion. That one was not, but the affairs. We didn't read the spicy documents, the relationships that were going on between insubordinates and the communication and sharing information. The investigator that got that testified, the lead investigator, she got the job. She was the only one that applied for that position that she's in right now. It's just interesting. Lisa Dempsey, my heart and thoughts were with the victim, Anita. She deserved justice. The prosecution was terrible. I believe they, along with law enforcement, failed her. Heartbreaking. I think prosecution could have done a lot better job if they had kept it less personal.
Call from Jennifer Greeno.
Jennifer Greeno, welcome. How are you doing today?
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's on your mind today?
I'm super nervous.
Me too. I'm always worried that somebody's going to say something bad and then I get in trouble.
No, I'm not going to say anything bad. I don't want your channel demonetized.
Then don't be nervous. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm calling to say nobody's brought up the knife. Now, in my opinion, I feel like whoever killed her, and I'm leaning Nichole is guilty, but I don't know that for sure. I don't think the state proved it. I think that they left the knife in the room because they didn't want to have any chance of being caught with it, because they would have been tied back to Anita.
That is...
You know, because if it was somebody that didn't know her, had no ties to her, I don't think they would have been as fearful to be caught with the knife.
It's an amateur move. Wouldn't it be better?
Right?
Wouldn't it be better to take the knife and dispose
That's
of it
what
somewhere?
I'm thinking too, and just get rid of it somewhere. But
Throw it
if
in the
you're
river,
worried
throw it
that
in
when
the
you're
lake,
leaving there,
throw it down
right,
a sewer
right.
somewhere.
And I had another question. Does anybody know how big Minot is? How big is that city of people?
I thought they said it was like 10,000 or something. Is that right?
10,000. So it is quite small. So I wouldn't be too concerned about holdback information either.
6,000 people. Yeah, it's a small.
6,000. Yeah, that's tiny. I grew up in a town of 3,000. So I mean, rumors spread.
And there were 3 non-police individuals in the crime scene before police arrived.
Exactly. Even if her father wouldn't have said anything, who knows with the other people. Yeah. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that about the knife because nobody had brought it up. And I really feel like it had to be somebody that knew they were going to be tied back to her, whether it was Nichole or not.
Okay. Crystal Ray says Minot is like 48,000 people. Is that now? What was it 18 years ago?
48,000. Okay, that's a different story.
Let me ask the all-knowing Grok. What was Minot, North Dakota population in 2007, right?
Yeah.
It was 36,567.
Okay, so that changes my mind a little bit on the holdback information. That's bigger than I thought it was.
So are you saying that
that her knowing some of the information, I mean, she was close to the investigation, so we do have to keep that in mind. But her knowing, like, I was thinking if the city was less than 10,000 people, that it would have been all around. But at 30-something thousand people, that's a pretty big, area.
That's a big group. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, Glens Falls, the city of Glens Falls in New York, where I live near, had a murder. And, I don't know. I just don't think that the holdback information would have been as well known in a city that size. Just my opinion. But I'll let you go so other people can call. I just wanted to bring up the knife because I really feel like whoever left it there was very afraid when they left that apartment they were going to be caught with the knife, in my opinion.
That shows amateur to me. And I guess
and also I agree with the caller that said, sometimes you just get in the shower to rinse off and don't wash your hair. So, the DNA under her nails, if she did shower, I would take her leave.
Yeah, that's not me because it only takes me about 30 seconds to wash my hair. And it takes even longer and less time to dry it for me. So.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate it. I was super nervous and now I got what I wanted to say out.
And now you can call anytime. It's no problem. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Scott. All right. Bye.
Call from
Master Eden.
Hey, Master Eden. This is Scott. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Can I throw a theory out there real quick?
Oh, of course.
I don't think she did it per se. Has anybody entertained the notion that she may have something to do with it? Maybe she knew somebody.
A couple people have raised the I don't think she did it alone idea, but we can't really speculate on who else could have done it. But.
Right. Well, the defense got me was she's not this professional killer, because most professionals get caught because, that's that one drop of blood, that one stitch of evidence that you forgot to clean up. And I'm with that notion of, you're only 18. You're not that clever to commit the perfect crime.
Yeah, but she's an 18-year-old college student. I don't think she can afford a hitman, right?
No.
So
unless you have a friend that is a professional killer that she didn't have to pay.
But who out there is going to be like, oh, she leaves her alarm clock on in the morning when she's not there? Yeah, I'll do it for you. That's a stretch for me. I mean, there would have to be some sort of relationship of some sort. between the two.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. There could have been a relationship with someone. You know, you're 18, you're pretty, you're going around telling everybody, I hate this girl, she's a this, she's a that, I wish you were dead. And you get this guy that says, well, you know, I can fix that for you. You know, there's no text messages, but, you know, you can be sitting in a car and you just kind of plan it out. No evidence, nothing to call back. To me, it sounds more of that alleyway than she did it. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if two people were involved. To me, that's less. It's less probable that's the case because there's no evidence of two people other than that extra DNA under her fingernail.
Right.
That's all there is.
Yeah. And I'm with you with the whole defense and how they shouldn't do it, but you know it made sense because you're trying to convince at least one. You know, when you beat your fist on the table and you're acting all animated, you gotta, you know, it's for your client. You know, you're doing what you gotta do for your client. Yeah, it's dirty tactics, but it's like wrestling. You know, you poke them in the eye, it's still wrestling. You know.
Master Eden, thank you very much, Master Eden. Appreciate the call this morning.
Okay.
You have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye. Jasmine says there are still things missing in this case, like a pink iPod. Whatever happened to that? But no, I don't know. There's what? How do you feel about the fact that she might have a stuffed animal that belonged to Anita? Is that a memento? Is that a trophy? Is that a? I mean, it sounds like they weren't on a relationship where, if there's, you know, Anita, even being a college age young woman. Or woman, you know, she probably, if she brought a stuffed animal with her to college,
Juju,
it probably means something to her. Juju, this is RA. How are you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. I'm thinking about the stuffed animal.
So, hey, there's a little bit of a delay, but
this
is my thing. Everybody's saying that she went to the farm, you know, and then drove back or whatever. We all know that she went there to pick up clothes. What if she stayed the whole time and they got in an argument and she killed her?
Did she
I mean, there's nothing to say that.
To pick up clothes, like her parents' house, or did she go to the college dorm to pick up clothes?
I think she told her aunt and somebody else that she went back to her house to pick up clothes.
I think that's what her aunt assumed it was, but I'm not sure if, because she was staying at her parents' house, and she went home to change to go out to the club or something, right?
I think so. You think she went back to her parents' house to get clothes?
I think it could have been either one, but without knowing which one it is, obviously if she went back to the apartment to get clothes, that's great timeline.
And then think about it. I mean, what about the fact that, I saw her at the refrigerator, I saw her answer the door, I heard somebody else in the apartment with her. How do you say all that, but then she wasn't there at all? I mean, why would you say any of that?
Good point.
And then her inconsistencies with, like, you know, all her other crazy stories. I went to my parents. I went to the bar. I went here. I mean, I don't know that the state has absolutely proven that she did it, only because the evidence is just not there. But her stories are really inconsistent.
Is that enough to convict for you?
I just think if she went back to the house to get the clothes and they got into an argument, I mean, we know that everybody said she had a really bad temper. Yeah. I mean, the girl, there was no, if someone came through your window, you're not going to just sit in your bed and like, oh, hey, come on in, you know? I mean, you're going to move, you're going to do something.
So I don't think somebody went through the window. I believe that the DNA on the window was from the bloody knife, which means that somebody was already in the house before the window was cut. But if she was staying with her parents, I think the state brought this up in their closing. If she was staying with her parents and the roommate Anita did not expect Nichole to come back, that would be why she didn't lock her door. And then she would have had access.
The front door?
Her bedroom door.
Or her bedroom door. Okay.
I struggle. I think most college girls would lock their dorm door. I just think I lock my doors, so it's easy for me to think everyone locks their doors. I don't like the story that the landlord told about I put the key in the lock and I heard the tumblers clicking as I turned it, because that's not how locks work. You can put a key in the lock and hear tumblers here, but that's not unlocking the lock. That's to prove it was locked or unlocked. Turning the key itself, the key rattles and that's it. But there's no tumblers to hear clicking in the lock. So maybe she just used poor terminology, but.
So it doesn't sound like you think she did it or didn't do it. You're kind of like on the fence. It sounds like you don't think they have proven it. Do you think it's any of the other people they brought up?
I think there's a high likelihood she did it. But
okay.
But I'm not sure if I'm past all reasonable doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. I just,
or beyond
I can't get over all the weird stories that she told. And then, what keeps staying with me is like her seeing her at the refrigerator. And then I saw her answer the door and then she wasn't there at all. It's like, it's so much information that, the truth doesn't change. I mean, whether it's 10 years or 20 years, if you did something a certain way, I just think that you would be consistent with that. I mean, I don't think all the need to see her at the refrigerator and see her answering the door and all of that. I just don't understand where all that came from.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know.
It's caused me to think a little bit. And I would say that I'm at the point right now where I would say it's highly likely that she did it.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure I don't have a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, and I think that we're both kind of like, I mean, to have to try and say guilty and put somebody in prison could be the rest of their life, Yeah. I think it's going to be hung, or I think it's going to be guilty. That's what I think.
Great thought. Appreciate the call.
All right.
Thank you. Have yourself a great day.
Bye-bye. You too. Bye-bye.
Shannon Cooper says, I've opened hundreds of doors and locks in my career. You can definitely hear the tumblers. The tumblers are also called pins. The pins inside a lock are raised to the shear line when the key is inserted and the bitting interacts with the driver pins, the key pins. Once the key is in place, there's no movement of those pins. So I just don't know how you should hear it like that. You can hear the lock turn, like the bolt slide.
To accept, press 1. To send a...
Hey, I'm sorry, I talked over your name. Who am I speaking with?
Lost Pharaohs.
Laos?
Lost Pharaohs.
All right. How are you doing? Sorry, my ears are terrible. So.
That's fine. My phone is not the best, so I have to do it on speakerphone.
Okay. What's your thoughts today?
Okay, my bottom line is, I think with a lot of these cases, including this one, we're all going down the rabbit hole of trying to fill in the holes and fill in the blanks. But the bottom line is the law says if they've not proven it, you can't convict. Bottom line. I don't sit here and say, did she do it, did she not? I look at it as, did they prove it or did they not?
Yeah.
There's too many. It's not up to us. If we were in the jury, they give us the instructions that we should not fill in the blanks for what they didn't give us.
Right. The jury's not supposed to solve the crime. That's not their role.
Right. So that's the way I see it. And if I was the one sitting up there, I'd want y'all to at least be sure.
I appreciate the way you said that. Thank you very much for that. I agree. It's not. We don't have to put the puzzle piece together as virtual jury here. We're not supposed to solve the puzzle. We're just supposed to see if the puzzle pieces the state's put together prove that she's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Now I can get to guilty without having all the puzzle pieces in there. I don't need to have all the pieces there and the sky have no gaps in it and everything else. I can see a guilty conviction before all the pieces are filled in. But
what do you think? What do you think about it taking them so long and it not having really any additional evidence? If they were so sure of it, then why didn't they do it before?
That's something I don't like about this case, that it seems like it was public pressure and public pressure only that brought about a charge. It was the TV show. If there wasn't a TV show, even if the new evidence had come up, I don't think they would have charged. But that pressure of everyone watching the show and saying, "Hi, they've got all this evidence. What are you going to do?" Elections happen, and people lose their jobs if they're not happy with them.
Yeah.
So,
and all that was going on internally with the department and with all the stuff. I mean, you have to weigh credibility also.
Yeah.
Not just on her, but also the credibility of the investigators, of the police department, of everybody.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Thank you. Thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you.
You too.
Bye. Holly Mack says, woohoo, only 4 more months to a new color courthouse. Holly Mack, one of our OGs from Canada. Thank you very much. Lulu, also an OG, says, I wonder who had the key to Anita's room. It was brought up in her trial. Her room was locked. Well, Nichole had a key. The maintenance manager had a key. And
call from Patty B.
Is it Patty B?
It is.
Patty B, this is Ari. How are you doing?
Good. I called a while ago. You probably don't remember me, but so I have a question. The way that we look at, I watch a ton of true crime, but the way that we look at a defendant, are we not supposed to look for reasons that she is innocent? Am I wrong with that?
Well, that would be exculpatory evidence. So yeah, I would definitely say we're supposed to look for that.
Right. So why do you think that juries, not saying all juries, but why do people always try to find ways to find a defendant guilty when we are actually supposed to be looking for ways to find them not guilty?
I hear what you're saying. A prosecutor's job is not to prove people innocent, right? The prosecutor is to get the conviction. They oftentimes will count, almost keep a scorecard on their career, as I got this many felony convictions, and we put this many drug dealers in jail. And, it's sort of like bragging rights. And some prosecutors may lose sight of the end goal, which is seeking justice, which sometimes is making sure an innocent person does not get charged. I think overall that most of them are very good about it, and they have a firm conviction that the person they're charging is guilty. That they've been looking at the evidence and they came to that conclusion. Now, not all juries will agree with them, but I think that needs to not be personal.
Like they want to win, right? More than they're looking for the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pertaining to this case, what if you were in that jury room or anybody else in the chat? What do you guys, if you had to deliberate, what would point towards her innocence instead of her guilt? Is my question.
I think you have to begin with her innocence.
Right.
So
what would that be? Yeah, so I'm asking you, for you, what would that be?
Well, a defendant, as they sit in court, even charged day one of trial, is shrouded in a cloak of innocence that does not leave them unless the state proves beyond a reasonable doubt that they're guilty. So we have to begin there. I would definitely say, as we're looking at evidence as members of if we're a member of the jury, we have to view anything that is exculpatory that would prove her innocence. That would basically either be an alibi or supporting information that's inconsistent with the facts of the cases that are presented to us, that says it can't be her. Now, the fact that very little of that exists doesn't mean that it then is her, that she's not immediately guilty, because there's no where's the proof that you're not the person? That's not how it works.
Yeah. I get it. It's just that, I don't know, I just always feel like society is turning more towards, oh, you got to prove them innocent because they're guilty. And I wish more that, like, defendants were innocent. Prove me guilty. Like, prove me guilty. And I don't know in this case if it gets beyond that threshold, because why did they wait so long to charge her with no new evidence? None.
Some new evidence was basically the confession, right? The ex-boyfriend that said she was drunk at the party, and we were talking about it, and she said, "I did it." That's the new evidence.
I don't like those types of confessions because it's all hearsay. You can believe them, but it's like, you don't know. These kids, they drink, they say things. Like, we don't know the context. We don't know what was going on. Like, I guess this is the stuff I'd be arguing in the jury room.
I would be concerned that the people that said they heard this might not have heard right. She might have been having a conversation with somebody else about something else at the time, and you're having a conversation about the murder, and then you hear her say, "I did it," and you're like, whoa, she confessed.
Yeah.
And she's really saying that she planned the party for next weekend. Like, hey, did you get the balloons? Yeah, I did it. And suddenly we have a confession. Now, I don't think that's what happened here. I think it's more likely that she was looking for that negative attention. But not sure.
I guess if we're not sure, we don't know, it's not proven, she has to be found not guilty. That's just my point of view. We can't just feel it. Oh, I feel she's guilty. No, we have to hold the government to their burden. Like, the more we don't hold them to that, the more they get away with. Like we see in other cases. I'm not going to mention it, but we probably all know.
Are you not talking about Florida cases?
I don't want.
Just kidding.
Recent
Florida
which case
cases
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, you know which case I'm talking about. I'm not going to even bring
all
up that
right.
drama.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for taking my call. Have a good day.
Appreciate
Have
it.
a good day, everybody.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye.
I think she was doing laundry in the background. I heard the doodle-doop, the beeps of the washing machine. Georgia Culture says, jury pondering all that evidence in front of them will go guilty or hung. So, and by the way, Georgia Culture, OG, 26 months. Thank you very much. Kurt, I see you in chat. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. We're discussing this Nichole Rice cold case trial, where 18 years ago, Nichole Rice's roommate, Anita Knutson, was found stabbed twice in her bed. She was wearing a robe, was covered in a blanket, laying on a pillow. The knife was on the bed next to her. The knife had been cleaned. The screen had been cut. There was DNA, possibly her blood, I think, on Anita's blood on the cut of the screen, which would indicate it was cut after she was stabbed. We've heard testimony that the lock on the door was a security lock that was not something that anyone could just get keys copied of, and the only keys belonged to Anita, Nichole, the maintenance manager, and the apartment manager. They didn't like each other, and there's a small thing that she confessed to a couple people, but now she's saying not guilty. This was the subject of a cold case investigation, the TV show, and that TV show brought this new evidence, especially the confession, to light. All right, put the evidence on the table. I'm surprised. Is anyone else surprised they didn't bring the actual knife? That they only had a picture of it? Do you think they threw it away already? They're like, oh, it's a cold case. We don't need the evidence anymore. I would never say I murdered someone to shut them up. Nikki came home tipsy. Rumi was in the shower listening to music, trying to relax. Nikki got angry because she realized that Rumi was using that precious pink iPod. I don't know. Do you think she liked her iPod that much that she threw it away? Got blood on it or something? Let's see. Got a couple chats here. One of them was I had put on my video it was going to start at 9:15 tonight. Sorry, I got AM and PM mixed up. I was going to say I did it for attention. Maybe Anita knew Nichole was gone, so left her bedroom door open, and Anita was using Nichole's iPods. Nichole comes home for some reason, walks by, sees Anita using her iPods, and they argue, and Nichole has the knife and stabbed her over those iPods. We don't know where Nichole got the knife. She didn't have cheap hunting knives around, did she? Let's see. Mod chat. Sorry, I'm in the wrong one. Thanks for all the great comments, by the way, on the Court TV posting on the commercial. It was an honor to be included in that. Let's see. Let's see. There might be some activity in the courtroom. We're holding tight on that just to see if something happens. No view from the courtroom yet. Yes, if you want to see my debut in a commercial with Court TV, you can click the link and watch it. It's got a couple there of our friends from LawTube and LawTube Adjacency there as well. The gas station, I believe she bought one there, had it in her car. I believe she did the crime. June says, I enjoyed seeing the commercial on Court TV. I do remember where I was when the OJ verdict came out. Is anyone else confused by the whole bowl of water thing? Yes, it seems weird, but I think this was where Dexter failed. The murder failed. The bowl of water used to clean the knife so that there would not be blood in the sink. The bowl of water then should have been like dumped into the toilet and flushed or something like that instead of down the sink. And it might have been forgotten about. The missing medallion coincidence is still crazy to me. The medallion on the knife that one of the potential suspects knew was missing before the police told him. Easy Breezy says, this case is so interesting because of how I can be so confident of her guilt, but lean to no guilty based on flimsy evidence. Trying to figure out why the suspect would have spent the extra time to clean the knife after the crime. To get rid of DNA. 100%. Did we hear it? Was the water tested? I know they saved the water from that bowl. Did they do any DNA tests on the water? Did it have her blood in it? Ouch. A glass cuticle pusher? That just sounds like a recipe for disaster. They should make them out of soft silicone. Why did the person leave the knife behind? Because they're amateurs. It's terrible. Why would you leave the murder weapon behind? There's a chance of your DNA being on it, unless you're confident you cleaned it very well. She should have washed it before she cut the screen. Maybe she was cutting the screen and realized that there was blood on it, and then went and washed the knife. And then she's like, oh, crap. Maybe I got to get out of here. She wouldn't have unalived herself. She couldn't have cleaned the knife. It's impossible. The victim, there was no blood spread around the apartment. She would have had to have stabbed herself twice. With the first one, with one of the stabs being nearly instantly fatal to the heart. Then got up, cut the screen, gone to the bathroom, washed the knife, got on the bed, got in position, put the knife there, and then died. It just doesn't work like that. Nichole's blood was on the screen. It was Anita's blood that was on the screen. Nichole's blood was not found anywhere. There was none of her DNA in that room at all. Anita's DNA was on the screen at the point of the cut. I'm in the not guilty camp, but I would not feel bad if she was convicted. And that is a conflict for me that I'm trying to work through in my head. I feel like there's a high likelihood that she did it.
Call from Dana.
Dana, this is RA. Help me think this one through. What are your thoughts on this case?
Hey, Scott. So this is my question, is that I understand that the defense, they obviously, like, it's their job to go after the other suspects. And when everyone's saying it's process of elimination, I think you kind of have to do that, right? I mean, I think that's what, in every case, you basically start close and then weave your way out, and then you kind of have to go through, like, the list of people that could be persons of interest, so, yada, yada. But my thing is this. And I hate to say this, but if you think about it, with the guys that they're trying to say, oh, this guy, for instance, the guy she went to prom with, like the guy that was kind of nerdy, but, she was friendly to him.
Right?
Yeah. First of all, I think if you're, a lot of times in cases like that, you're rarely going to see them, if it's she rejected them or whatever. Usually it's not going to be like a simple stab wound. For whatever reason, like a lot of times those cases, it sort of becomes, it can be, they're angry, right? They're angry at that person. And so oftentimes it's a little bit of a, I don't know how to say it and I don't want to get you in trouble. But it can be a lot more, I don't know but people are angry. Right. And so oftentimes have like a lot of injury. And or you have some sort of a, I don't know if I can say that either, but
you can say it.
I'll just say, so there's normally some sort of that, right? Because that's the whole point. Like, you're not gonna, I think that what happened is that I don't think that Nichole even, or if she was with her family, if that's a fact, I think that she was there. I think she probably was in the room with Anita, was having a conversation with her, because for Anita not to have any defensive wounds, there's no way, like you said, I guess earlier you said to a caller that you don't think anybody came through the window, which I agree, because no one's going to lay there and not get up and be alerted to that. But I think that she was sitting on the bed with her. They were having a conversation. I don't know if it got heated or what happened. And I think that she did that. I think she just stabbed her once, stabbed her again, and then Anita fell forward, which is how they said they found her. And that was that. Because I just believe that it had to have been somebody that she trusted. And I believe if it were any of the other, if it were a male, if it were any of the males, that there would be other, I just think that some other things would have happened. Either it would have been an overkill.
Assault or...
Yeah. Definitely that's the part I think that would be important. I'm not saying that I think you have, people like Ted Bundy or people that go in and they just get a thrill out of something like that going in, and they don't always do that, but also he did that. But I just think whether it's, I know it's kind of awful to think about, but oftentimes if males, especially if they're doing that for that reason. And that Devon Hall kid, for all their knowledge, he didn't even know where she lived. She was just texting with him. Like, she had never had an interaction with him. She just was texting with him, correct?
I believe so. There was nothing else there. I don't know.
Yeah, so a guy who was a cat bar, whatever, in people's houses, okay. But there's no evidence that he even knew where to find her. Like, they were just having like a, the way college kids do, just chatting over text.
Yeah. I just, if this was just a spur of the moment murder, like a fight that escalated and she lost control, temper got the best of her, those are the hardest ones to clean up properly. And this was cleaned up nearly perfectly.
Yeah, I don't get the no DNA. I think that's so strange. But also, if you think about it, whoever would have come in would have known. If it were just a random person who, was just let's just say it's just I don't even know how that would have happened. But if it were just somebody that's not even on the suspect list, how would they know that any moment the roommate could come back home? How would they know that they have time to like clean up DNA, how would they know that they have time to do that? I mean, typically, unless like people that are doing that, they don't want to get caught. So they're going to be aware of the fact that not only could the roommate, who knows who's going to come in there. So whoever would have committed that would have known they had time to completely, you didn't even have Nichole's DNA. She lived there. So that to me, and to leave the weapon and to make sure that there's no DNA, there's nothing on that. I just think it wasn't like a super bloody scene though. I think whoever did it would have just, it's like, think about how fast that would be. And obviously Anita was comfortable. I think she was probably sitting and talking with this person on the bed or whatever. I don't even think she would have even expected it.
I can see her sleeping on the bed with her door open and just being stabbed. That makes more sense to me. And then she sits up, tries to, crawl forward, is on her hands and knees and collapses. That makes sense with the type of stab.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know that it would have been a lot to clean up. Really, I don't think anything was cleaned up. Just that there was that part of it. Like, there's no DNA. They left the knife, but like, why would an intruder leave the weapon? I don't know.
Right. I might flip my vote here. I don't know. The more I think about this, so.
Whoever did it would have thought like they have time to do that and that's not something. Typically you would need to know, like, especially for college kids, it's like at any moment a roommate could come home. So it'd need to be somebody that was like comfortable enough, leaving, not going out of because obviously the window is, and that's the part too. Like, I just don't think intruders would why would they stage that? Why would an intruder stage? And I believe I'm with you. I don't think they went in or out of that screen. So why would they take the time to do that? An intruder doesn't care. They're like trying to, like, if you think about it, people that are they go to commit crimes like that, and unfortunately there are people that do that. They're not going to take the time to do all that.
All right, we have to drop it off. Thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it. I've got to jump to something else right now. It's too late. It's too late because. 5 hours and 40 minutes, roughly, of deliberation. The jury, in 2 days, has been considering the case against Nichole Rice. She's charged with murdering her roommate, Anita Knutson. They were roommates 18 years ago. 18 years ago. Things were rough then, and it only got worse, according to the prosecution. They say that their bad relationship soured to the point where life was taken. 2 stabs with a knife, and Anita was found dead on her bed in her room. She was not found for 24 hours. And although the investigation did everything they could at the time, they were not able to come up with enough evidence to charge anyone in the case. It was only after a cold case television show did a special on this cold case and dug up new evidence, new testimony, The police looked at the case one more time and said, now we have enough to go forward. They charged Anita with murder. Anita, 18 years ago, is charged with the murder from 18 years ago of this roommate that she didn't get along with. By all accounts, they were not close. They nearly, you could say, hated each other. But was this the perfect murder that only got solved because she couldn't stop talking about it? We heard testimony that she testified to, that she told multiple people that she did the crime, that she did it, that she knew facts about the case that nobody else knew. And now the jury has reached a verdict. Whether it's guilty or not guilty, we'll find out shortly. All we know is it is not hung. We're waiting for a video from the courtroom. As soon as it happens, we will show you that. But the clock is done. Josh says, I buffered you twice. I was on a call. I was busy. We'll bring you the courtroom as soon as we have this. We're waiting. We don't know how long it's going to be. Obviously, there are family members, there are friends, there are people who are part and parcel of this case who need to be present before we can go forward with the verdict. And we'll wait until that happens. Right now, the only thing that's happening we can see is this view here from court TV. That's just the walls being shown. So nothing happening in court right now. They reached a verdict. 12 people were able to agree. I really just made it for the verdict and missed the verdict song, says Kimbrough. So we're waiting. We're waiting for court to have a view for us that we can see what happened. But clock stopped, according to Court TV, at 5 hours, 25 minutes, and 47 seconds. So we were a little bit over on that. We're a little generous. Uncivil Law says, I may steal the verdict song. It's a good one. I think it's something called like Right Here, Right Now or something. And I think it's on the YouTube free music list. Do we need the hammer of justice counter for this part? We don't have the hammer of justice counter right now because the trial's over. I don't remember what the total count was. It was something like in the 60s or 70s, right? This judge has a unique style. Judge Hagar has a unique style of laying down the law, sort of, and saying this is what happened. So, hold on. Let's see if we can bring you to the court. Let's see, 7. We're holding tight here. Just 1 second. My favorite part of the verdict watch is verdict music and trial case roundup commentary. Fun fact: I don't practice those. I can never do it right anyway. Katrina Hetherton, welcome to the gallery. Thank you for your continued support. We've got a couple. The clock from Law and Crime shows 5 hours, 24 minutes, 42 seconds. Court TV is showing 5:25:47. So I was a little over, probably because the evidence had not been turned over yet. But we're gonna hold tight for just a minute while we wait for that. And yes, we do have a verdict. I'm going to update the title. It only took 7 tries to get that spelled right, but we did that. So now we're just waiting for everyone to be assembled. To obviously the defendant has to be there. She's out on parole, so she's not held in the courtroom. Usually they're going to be there within 30 minutes. I wonder if the cold justice people are holding hands around TV waiting for this verdict. I think they're probably paying attention. I mean, what a great bragging right, I guess you could say. For a television show to say, hey, we went in a cold case and we solved it, and because of us, the family has justice. There's justice for Anita. That would be huge if there's a conviction. If there's a not guilty, there's still no shame in that. Saying, hey, we did what we could. We did what we thought was right, and the jury says this is a cold case for a reason. Rebecca May Stone, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much for your continued support as well of that green courthouse. Get them a Did I Crack the Case plaque. They need one of these. It says cold case. Yeah. Let's see. That verdict music is an instant dopamine hit for me. The only reason I do that, and I do feel like I need to explain this, because I have a lot of respect for the justice system, and I think it's very easy to get drawn into the circus of the drama and everything else around court, and I think that takes away from that. The only reason we do the music is we have a lot of people who watch throughout the day and have it on in the background, who are invested in a trial but have a life that requires them to do things other than just watch during as things happen. The music is our cue to say, hey, something's happened. The jury has done something. I think it's worth celebrating when a jury reaches a verdict, because that is the jury's job. It's not that we're celebrating somebody being convicted or somebody being found not guilty. We're celebrating the jury reaching a verdict and alerting everyone so that we can be here for it and watch together. And it gets your attention. Sure does. We do have a verdict, CN. Absolutely. The verdict is in. Let's see. Katrina Hetherington, thank you. Welcome to the gallery. Rebecca May Stone as well. And Christy Queen, 10 months, says, I think she's guilty. Maybe. We're close. Let's see if we can see what Court TV. There was a little motion on Court TV's camera. No motion on either one. We're watching. As soon as something happens, we'll bring it for you. The hammer of justice count was 68. I went back and looked, says Donald King. Thank you, Donald. That's 68 times that the judge sort of laid down the law in the courtroom in interacting with either the witnesses occasionally or the defense and the prosecution. Macy Coombs says, I always get a vacation rental by owner. Oh, here we go. It looks like just a quick peek in the courtroom. Looks like a lot of people are there, prosecution and on the defense. So any minute now we might have some action. A Verbo vacation rental ad on your videos, nowhere else. Well, apparently I think you should go and make vacation somewhere, Macy. Consider the Outer Banks, the nation's best kept secret when it comes to beaches. Let's see. Jedi Jess, that's a good place to bounce back and forth. Broken Baker's awesome. Ricky C says, I'm nervous. I'm not. I think, let's see. Judge is here. Here we go. We are underway. Let's wait for some audio to come through. There's probably going to be, probably a full courtroom. Hope there's no outbursts when this happens. A lot of people on the defense side. A lot of people sitting with defense here.
Central Judicial District is again on the record. The time is 13 minutes after 10 o'clock. Today's date is March 26, 2025. My name is Richard L. Haggard, District Court Judge. This is a continuation of the State of North Dakota versus Nichole Rice. File number is 51, 2022, CR 421. Court has received, parties are present along with counsel. The court has received notification that the jury has reached a verdict. You should each have a copy of that notification. Anything before I bring in the jury, Ms. Sargent?
No from the state, Your Honor.
Mr.
No, Your Honor.
And, all right. Bring in where's my bailiffs? Somebody remind them.
Can somebody get the bailiffs? Let them know that they have work today. I think they're going to say guilty. I think they're coming back with a guilty verdict. That's not me. I'm still in the not guilty camp, but just barely. Yeah. Bailiffs are not overrated. Let me say that they may seem overrated because their job looks very easy 99% of the time. It's the 1% of the time when they're needed in court that we realize they do actually work for it and are very crucial to the judicial system. Kells Bells, you missed the music, but you did not miss the verdict. We're sitting here right now. You missed the poll yesterday. We did 2 of them.
Thank you very much. Please have
split.
a seat. The jury is now present. They appear to be the 12 people they were supposed to be. Ms. Sorgan, any issues with regard to roll call of the jury?
State waives roll call, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand?
We waive as well, Your Honor.
All right. Members of the jury, you have selected a jury leader who has the jury form. You do. Can you hand it to the bailiff, please?
Jury leader instead of
It is
jury
my understanding
foreman.
that you have reached a verdict, correct? Okay.
And that's always good to confirm.
Thank you.
If this was just a question, we'd be in trouble.
The court will now have the clerk read the verdict.
State of North Dakota, in District Court, County of Ward, North Central Judicial District. State of North Dakota Plaintiff versus Nichole Rice, Defendant. Criminal number 51, 2022, CR 00421. Verdict form. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn, find the defendant, Nichole Rice, not guilty of the information dated at Grand Forks, North Dakota, this 26th day of March, 2025.
Is this the jury's verdict? Can you calm down a little bit, please? Is this the jury's verdict? Okay, the juror nodded. The jury leader nodded. Ms. Sorgan, do you wish the jury polled?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sand, do you wish the jury polled?
No, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you very much for your service. We appreciate the time that you've allotted for this case. You are now excused. My admonition no longer applies to you, so you can talk about this case if you choose to do so, and you can also not talk about the case if you choose to do so. Please rise.
That, I agree, that was the most unprofessional response by an attorney to a verdict I've ever seen. I realize the emotional investment that these attorneys put into the case is massive, but that was, watch this again. Watch this with, let's watch on.
And Nichole Rice,
Court
not
TV's
guilty
covered.
of the information dated at Grand Forks,
High fives, hugs.
26th day of March, 2025.
This is the equivalent of what I might do if my team won the NCAA bracket. And we're in a court of law. I realize a lot of emotions. I don't blame the defendant at all for breaking down in tears here. But the attorneys need to do better. They need to do better. The judge should have. That's my action. That's why, who says this? Greeners. That's my reaction when I win the internet. Holy cow. Just still hugs all around us as families leaving there. This remains a cold case. This remains a cold case. There's one side of this courtroom that is literally, little brother Stans is grinning from ear to ear. Can't contain himself. But the other side of this courtroom, there's a family who has lost their daughter and is walking out devastated, thinking that they were going to get justice. And wow. That's Brazil when we win the soccer World Cup. I will say that was inappropriate, and watching them still celebrating in the courtroom. It's not that the courtroom is a sacred space. Okay, this isn't like a religious room that holds sacred relevance to followers, but it is a process that deserves respect. And although I'm happy for the defense for getting a win, it's always amazing to see, especially when you're the underdog and you feel you're going to lose. Wow. It's sacred to me, says on civil law. I see that. I mean, for those that study the law and understand literally the blood, sweat, and tears that went into establishing this system. Wow. I thought at the last minute, I thought for sure it was guilty. That was wild. That was wild. Yeah, the victim's family is crazy. I know a lot of people are saying she got away with it. At this point, if she did it, she would have gotten away with it. But the jury came back and said she didn't do it. And one thing we do, that I do, is I respect the decision of the jury. I can say I would have decided differently had I been on the jury. I would have held out on the other side. But I respect the decision of the jury. And the process has worked. It worked to its conclusion. She got a trial of members, of her peers, and they reached a conclusion that did not involve her being guilty for this. So, I was more surprised that the judge did not, first of all, tell people not to have an outburst, and second of all, that once there was an outburst, did not correct them. That's not what the jury said. They didn't say she didn't do it. They said that she didn't prove it. Didn't I say that they said it did not have her being guilty? Not guilty is what they said. That was literally their verdict. Jury didn't say she didn't do it. Jury said prosecution did not prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't think you would, if you polled the jury, you would find them saying, we think she did it, but they didn't prove it. I don't think they'd say that. Chamomile tea for everyone, says Camilla. Thank you for that. The presser is going to be hard to watch. State of North Dakota blew the one chance they had to convict Nichole. She could confess on national television now and be unable to be retried.
Call from
Bap.
Hey, Bap. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Not necessarily an unexpected verdict, given, the lack of necessarily concrete evidence, I guess I would say. Mm-hmm. I believe that she did it. I believe that a lot of people believe that she did it, but did they prove it beyond a reasonable doubt? Probably not. And it would have been difficult to do so after this much time. My biggest issue, though, is that attorney's behavior when the verdict was read. That was completely unprofessional to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think there was a little. I mean, I'm not trying to pour salt on his victory. Pee on his parade or something. But there was a little lackadaisical type attitude from defense during this trial. I mean, they were practically feet up on the desk throughout most of the trial, and pretty laid back. But
and you have this woman's family who just found out in their mind that their child won't get justice. So you have to have some level of professionalism and some level of empathy.
Yeah.
Barring the family, I can understand wanting to have an outburst, but not him. That didn't make sense at all to me.
Yeah, barring some unforeseen miracle and discovery, sadly that appears to be true. That Anita Knutson's family will never get justice in this case because there are no other suspects. I mean,
right.
You've got 18 years that this case has sat there and no evidence has come forward. That the chance of additional suspects being revealed at this point is it's infinitesimally small.
Exactly. And that's, in my particular opinion, the person who did it did go on trial. So the fact that they found that person not guilty, to me, does mean that they won't get justice, because at the end of the day, you have to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt, And so, yeah, just keeping all of that in mind, I wouldn't have done the whole hooping and hollering and fist pumping and all of that. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you just have to be mindful of the of where you are. You're sitting with a family who lost their daughter, who was clearly murdered, and
Right.
and they want justice. Now, you might disagree with how justice looks with the family, but you don't celebrate right there. You don't jump up in the air and pump your fists.
Yeah, they could have had their little victory celebration when they had their press conference after the trial. They could have done all of that, but it is what it is. Hopefully her family gets some level of counseling after this, because even going through the trial and having to see the things that they had to see again, reliving those moments, I know that had to be traumatizing. And then in their minds, having justice snatched away from them also, that has to be a level of trauma I hope I never understand. And so, yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yep. Green Cat says, I thought you were not guilty, recovered addict. I am. I agree with the verdict. I don't agree with the way that the lawyers behaved when the verdict came in. That's all.
Do you believe that she didn't do it, or that she's not guilty?
I believe the state didn't prove it. I believe that there's a high likelihood she could have done it. The opportunity was there. The motive was there. I guess the means was there. It was just a knife, and if you're able to swing a knife, that's enough.
Right.
But that doesn't prove a case. I mean,
exactly. And then the people giving testimony saying that she did it, their memories weren't as fresh as they could have been because it's been so long. So it's up to each person to determine whether or not that's actually reliable evidence or not.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bap, thank you very much. Appreciate your thoughts on this one. Good talking to you again.
All right. And happy belated birthday. I don't think I got to tell you happy birthday on your birthday.
Appreciate that. I'm feeling old today.
Bye.
Bye. Army Mom, then why would you hold out? I didn't. I said several times, I'm still not guilty. I said it on many calls this morning before the verdict came in as well. I just said I think the jury's going to come back with the guilty, but I'm still not there. Their team did win. Barb says, I'm really turned off of your U.S. justice system. I find it off-putting and erratic. Barb, what system do you think is better? I mean, I'm not trying to brag here, but I don't think there's a better one in the world. I'd love that every person who's accused of a crime can be tried by a jury of their peers. That will that the rules of evidence are followed. That if the verdict is unjust, it can be overturned through appeals. I love the checks and balances. I love the presumption of innocence. There's so much about the justice system I love. Let's see. The judge was great. I do like him. I hope we get to see another trial in his court. That's one of my pet peeves. It's not a jury of peers. We don't have peers in the USA. It's a jury of citizens. I guess we're not being tried by a group of our friends. By peers, we say our peers are people who live in the area we live, who are closest to us in as opposed to, I don't know. I mean, no offense, but Broken Baker is a professional juror. I mean, he's called as a juror. He serves on a whole bunch of juries. I don't know if any of his cases are specific to his area or if he hears things from people from far away. In the U.S., you drive from one state to another and laws change. Okay, philosophies change, language and accent changes. I would like that if I get charged with something, that people who grew up in a place like me, who think are aware of similar issues and look at things in a similar way than me would be hearing the evidence and deciding the facts. I believe she's still guilty, but I guess this will remain unsolved. It probably, I mean, there's nothing left for the state to do. They're not going to go back and look at the other people who they've argued vehemently that are not suspects. Our court system is set up to give benefits to the accused, though many of us think she likely did it. We agree the system works when occasionally someone who may have done it is found not guilty. Viridian, I agree. The legal definition of peers is not the same as our casual definition. How do you become a professional juror? I want the job. The pay is crap. Okay, Kate. No, I don't know what the pay is over there, but here we don't have professional jurors. The closest we have, there are some places where you will be in a jury pool for a period of time, like a month or so, and you might hear multiple cases, but that's the closest thing. I don't know what state that's in. I don't remember. All right. The system isn't the issue. It's the people who sit on the jury. That's problematic. I do think that we as citizens in the United States need to do a better job teaching civic lessons to our kids, teaching them about the justice system so they understand what presumption of innocence means, so they understand what circumstantial evidence means, so they understand the rough outline of how criminal cases are prosecuted and how justice works. I think we need to do a better job of that. You can volunteer for the grand jury, but that can take a lot of time. Most of the time, retired people sit on those. You can volunteer for a grand jury? Laurie says, I'm angry that the state actually brought this to trial because of a TV show. They never would have resurrected this event without new evidence. This was all because of the TV show. I agree that was the impetus, the driver behind this. The testimony that she knew details that only the investigators knew did it for me. Here for the hearsay, the problem I have with that, I mean, I hear that argument, but the problem I have is that 3 non-police individuals were in the crime scene, in the room with the body before the police were even called. And so it's not only the investigators knew. They didn't withhold the fact that she was stabbed. Both sides also do get some say in who's on the jury too. I like that process. It should be a fair jury. Why did the judge just leave? He should have addressed the accused or acquitted. The fist pump and almost high-fiving was vulgar too. I don't know why he just left. Usually there is some sort of, Ms. Rice, the jury has found you not guilty. I'm hereby, the charges are done. You're free. I'm releasing you of the bond. There should be some sort of wrap up there. Maybe it's very possible the judge did not agree with the verdict and he was having a hard time keeping it contained. Wow. He did not like the defense attorney. Curiously, I see that as well. He's had it with the case. Wonder if the verdict will divide the town. I tell you, it's going to divide families. You've got an aunt and an uncle who testified against. I mean, how do you heal that? How do you rebuild that bridge? Barb, the level of proof required for a civil suit is lower than the level of proof required for a criminal suit. So it is possible, like we saw in the OJ case, that you can have a level of responsibility that you're civilly responsible for, even though the criminal level hasn't been met. But the judge should tell her she's free. We missed the audio. I'm sorry about that. I wish the defense would have done something a little bit different. I wish they wouldn't have just banged the table on their closing, but in saying that, they banged the table so effectively. They were so good at doing that it's hard to fault them for doing what worked. They say if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid, right? might need a little palate cleanser here. Just 1 second. Samantha, thank you. Thanks for being here. Danny Austin just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Danny. That's very generous. We've got a palate cleanser, if we can pull it up here. Just 1 second. And Josh found this one for us as well. Find it. Okay. Give me a second to get this pulled up. I'm having a tough time pulling up his courtroom. Hang on 1 second. You have to type this out manually. There we go. There it is. All right. Now I need to find the guy we want to watch. Found it. Hang on just 1 second. All right, here's our palate cleanser.
Does he have any priors? He's only 19, though, 20, right? He's only 20?
Yes, he has no priors, and we have no discovery. I've spoken with the prosecutor, and we've agreed to an adjournment. She needs like 4 weeks to put some videos together and so forth, so...
All right. He understands he's not legally able to drink alcohol yet, right?
Yes.
All right. Sir, $1,000 personal bond. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. You must appear in court as directed. No alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal drugs. I want you going to AA once a week. This scares me a little bit, okay? You shouldn't be in here at 20. I don't want you to say a word, but I want you going to AA, NA. You have to go in person. And every time you go, you have to have the form signed just once a week. I'll give you a pretrial date. Counsel will set that up. And what do you have, Lisa?
Is 4 weeks okay, Judge?
Yeah, that's fine.
April 23rd at 8:30.
April 23rd at 8:30.
Okay, 1 second. Would that be via Zoom, Judge? I'm going to be out of town that week.
Well, I'd like you to have, what I do on these, I don't mind if retained lawyers are with their clients by Zoom, but I would prefer them to be in the same office. I hate to go out 6 weeks. Then that's the next date.
What about the 16th, April 16th in the morning?
Lisa, what is that now? Can I do it that day?
That's Judge Hassan's Brownstown Day.
Oh.
If you're here at 8:30, counsel.
Okay, I can be there.
Can you do 8:30? So I don't need you here. Either your client has to be at your office or you both have to be here. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
April 16th at 8:30. We'll see you here then. And I'm entering a plea of denial on the failure to stop assured clear distance. Good luck. Thank you,
Very
gentlemen.
good.
Anything else, counsel?
That's it, Judge. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Yep.
Nicholas George Holmes, 255-414-912. Good morning, Mr. Holmes. How are you?
We're here for
Good
the guy
morning,
in the
Your Honor.
box
Very good, thank you.
top right.
All the high-priced lawyers are here today. And I bet you this one's pro bono.
Absolutely.
All right. So your appearance, please.
Daniel Holmes appearing on behalf of Nicholas Holmes.
All right. So this is going to be a plea to impeding, and they're going to dismiss the original charge, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And you're authorized there in this plea on his behalf?
Yes, I am.
All right. To that charge of impeding on his behalf, responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
Please accepted. 170. Original charge dismissed. I'll give him until the 4th to pay. Okay. We want him to pay, not his parents or anybody else, right?
That's correct.
All right. Have a good day. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Bye now.
Bye now. Good to see you. Michael Albert, Cadamus Jr., 25B147949. I knew this would work out for you. Your name?
Michael Cadamus.
You're going to plead to the civil infraction, no registration, right?
Yes.
Responsible or not responsible to that? Next time, tell your employer not to tell you to miss a court date, okay?
He don't care. He's my boss.
He's gonna learn, and when he has you arrested, when you get arrested, that's not right either. 125 is your total original charge dismissed. Can you pay that now?
I get paid next Thursday.
I'll let you pay it next Friday, which is April the 4th. Okay.
That's paid off. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Where do I get to go out there to that?
You don't have to go anywhere. Just come back 125 by next Friday, or you can pay online on 33court.com with your case number. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Gregory Lynn Sorrell, 24W837169A, 25W837500, 24W837169B, and 25B147474. All right, counsel, your appearance.
Thank you, Judge, and good morning. For the record, House Counsel, Attorney Mike Baldwin, P65417, on behalf of all four matters. Judge, today's the date and time set on...
Mr. Sorrell, you have to unmute, sir.
Today's the date and time set.
Hang on. I got to get him on record.
Yes,
Sweet.
Judge.
Hang on.
Mr. Sorrell, I need you to unmute there on your left, up near the device there.
There, it don't matter. Go
ahead. Your name?
Oh, here we go again. All them tickets you gave me for nothing, all your cops. Gregory L. Sorrell, yeah, crossing the street, man, 10 tickets. Gregory L. Sorrell, there you go, all your cops. Gregory L. Sorrell, especially one. Gregory L. Sorrell, you know what? I gotta say it again.
He pled no contest to trespassing.
That is correct, Judge.
I don't see where a bond was set unless you can tell me one on this, Lisa.
Don't matter, man. I'm not gonna pay it anyway. I'm just gonna stay here. So there you go.
Mr. Sorrell. Mr. Sorrell. Just chill out. Let me finish. Let me try to do this right.
Yeah, whatever, Nelly. Hey, Nelly, whatever. I don't care. I'm sick of this crap. Your cops giving me 10 tickets for crossing the street. I'm sick of it. Yeah, look at them. They're crossing the street, man, waiting across. I had one drink and went across the street, and he's trying to get drunk.
Mr. Sorrell, Mr. Sorrell.
Care, man. Get me off here.
Just wait a second. Will you please?
Go ahead and please. I don't care. But
I don't know what you're telling me you don't care about. You've got to.
Because your cops keep stopping me, man. 20 tickets for what? Crossing the street, taking my cart on ice and having to go on the road for a minute. They go when it was icy, man. That's what them tickets, a lot of them for. That's what I'm talking about. And hey, they shun the homeless. That's what's up, man. I know your cops, Woodhaven especially Woodhaven. There you go. Go ahead. Go ahead. So what?
Just wait. Just calm down.
There's no calming down with your cops, man. 20 tickets.
They're not my cops. They don't work for me. I have nothing to do with them.
They send you to court.
Stop.
There you go.
I'm gonna. If you want, I'm gonna move this out, and I'll just let you sit in jail. Just let me deal with this. I'll be fair with you, but stop interrupting me and stop arguing with me. Okay?
All right. There you go. There. Get by.
Lisa, did the judge, it looks like, I think it was Judge Tabby, did he set a bond on this trespassing case?
No, after this case, he was picked up on a felony. So we did a writ to get him out today.
Yeah. And what is the state of the felony? He's still in custody. I just took the waiver, and that's next Tuesday for arraignment on the information, right?
Correct.
I'm going to be more unfair with you, but you need to listen to me, Mr. Sorrell. Okay? Just please listen before I tell you what I'm going to do. And be respectful, and I'm going to be very fair with you. Okay? But you got to listen to me. What do you want to say? Anything?
Judge, today is the day and time set for sentencing. I don't believe that there was a PSI on this. It's trespass. It was no contest. If my memory serves me correctly, I don't have the notes from last time. I believe that we were going to hold the other proceedings, 69A, B, and 500, because I believe Judge Kirsten was on bench at that time. And I do believe that there may have been consideration for a dismissal on one, if not two of these contempts.
For what?
I have to see the files, Your Honor.
No, it just addressed the trespassing. It was a no contest plea.
And I was present on that day. So those are in default, the 69A, B, and 500. Obviously, I'm going to ask for time served, any jail credit. As we know, Mr. Sorrell in the community, he is not gainfully employed. He is mentally challenged. He is confident. And we're just going to ask for some jail credit and close the file.
Anything you want to say, Mr. Sorrell?
No, except for everyone shuns the home. I went in to warm up the laundromat the one time and fell asleep, and they gave me a ticket for that. And I spent money in there. And the one charge, I know I can't bring it up, but I was not guilty. I just didn't want to stay in county, and I went for that. None of them other charges are true. Every one of them, except for this last one, that cop deserved it because he kept on giving me tickets for lame stuff. Crossing the street, go up 100 yards and cross the street when I walk 20 miles already. I'm going to go up to the corner 100 yards and cross the street instead of going straight across the street. No, I'm not. So there you go. So they can give me tickets for that all day long. I'm not going to walk an extra 100 yards and cross at the lights. Sorry. Now, when I walk 20 miles a day already, no way. So they give me lame tickets all day long for that because I'm not going to walk 100 yards up to the light to cross. That's what them tickets, a lot of them are for lately. Yeah, that same cop, P-Brain. I call it.
Okay.
There you go. That's what I got to say. There you go, P-Brain. And P-Brain had it coming, that's what I'm going to say in court. Yeah, the company did, because he kept on harassing me. Harassment.
All right.
Harassment.
I've heard enough now.
All right, I'm
I've
done.
heard enough. Do you remember what I said? I said I'm gonna be very fair with you if you're respectful.
All right,
Stop.
I'm
You're
done.
so, Mr. Sorrell.
I told you the truth. I'm done. There you go. Done. Done.
I don't know why at the age of, you're younger than me by 2 years. I don't know why at 64 you would be so angry all the time. There's like, we're not.
You got stopped over 100 times. Let me talk one more time. Over 100 times, man. Look it up for nothing. For like going in a laundromat or gas stations and stuff, man. Kicked out for witnessing for Jesus because it's Muslims that don't like me because they own the gas stations. That's why. You wouldn't like it either. You wouldn't like it. Would.
All right. I've heard enough. Lisa, I want you to mute Mr. Sorrell so he doesn't interrupt me again, but he will be able to hear me. I don't know why you're so angry, sir. You constantly are in here. I've tried with you. I don't know what else to do with you. We've had more cases with you, I think, than anybody else in the last year and a half. I could stand corrected. Maybe somebody else is on there more. But they're going to put them on the front of the American Bar Journal or something and say, this guy really gets in trouble. Now, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't understand why you're doing this, but I'm still going to be fair. I'm giving you credit for time served on all these. There was no bond set. I'm going to make the assumption that the judge would have set a cash bond of some type. And therefore, since you've been in custody since February the 26th, at least on this, which is 28 days, all these civil infractions, you get credit, 1 day credit for every $10 served on that. Trespass, 10 days jail, credit 10. As far as these cases are concerned, I'm releasing you and giving you credit. I wish you well. And that's all I can say. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Judge.
Derelict, Hannah Lee Derelict, 24B146573B.
Your Honor, today's date time set for a pretrial. Derelict, can you just please state your full legal name for the record?
Hannah Derelict.
Attorney Mike Baldwin on behalf of Ms. Derelict. Today's date time set for a pretrial. We've had an opportunity to speak.
All right, we're gonna bail on that one. He's done. He's out. He's free. Let's see. Judge Boyd is supposed to have a bench trial. What's it about? She oftentimes has bench trials, but the content is something that we don't typically follow on the channel. I know Judge Simpson had one as well today. The cop is waiting outside. He calls him pea brain. It's probably not good to insult the cop. He probably needs a little help, is what he needs. They did say he is competent, but he has some challenges. I think alcohol might be one of those challenges. So, but that's the most frequent flyer in Judge McNally's court. AZDCS Oversight Group member for 17 months says, hey, everyone, welcome. McBurney started a trial yesterday. If we could fix his audio, I would be able to go back to a court trial in his courtroom. But he insists everyone just gets right up to the mic and then talks loud, and it's so bad. Oh, my goodness. And he's the worst offender. It's a bad case. Oh, yeah, okay. What's the name of the LED lights you have under your shelf? Pete. This is funny. I bought this desk and the LED lights malfunctioned, and they would go out and not work properly. And I had to work with the manufacturer over and over. They sent me had me buy LED lights, TV LED lights, a spool of them. They had me buy a couple sets of those, and they sent me some, and they were wrong. This is a special custom set that's made. It has a length, and then it stops, and it has a break, and it has a length, and it stops, and it has a break, and it has a length. It's designed to go around the pillars and everything in here. There's no brand name with it. It's sort of custom made. In the end, the manufacturer of the desk sent me an entire new desktop, which weighs like 80 pounds, so that I could just take the lights out of it and then throw the rest of the desk away. I ended up giving it to a friend. But I wish there was a brand name. It's a no brand LED light that's custom made. But there's some great ones out there that you can try that work. Like these ones here. So these ones, let's see if we can turn them on. These ones flashed too fast. They had me buy these ones, and it's just like, they're terrible. Cool remote with timers and various different designs. Now this one, it works as a voice meter, so it only flashes when I talk, like, hey, like that, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty nifty. So it's like, hey, like that. There you go. There's a bunch out there that work. Just find the ones you like. And not a sponsor. They've got a bunch on Amazon. I might use these somewhere. Okay. Did you miss the verdict? There was traveling Michelle Ellis. Yes, you missed the verdict. If you go back a little bit, you can get it, or if you stay here, someone will tell you. Test. 1, 2. I don't like that one. Testing. 1. Test. 1, 2. These are good lights. I like them. They just don't fit my desk. All right. Verdict was about 45 minutes ago. And it breaks when you yell hump day. No, I think it would have just, all the lights would light up when you yell hump day. These lights are fun if you want something active in the background while you're talking that interacts with how you do it. So if you play music, they would pulse to the music as well. Nice strobe as well. Sent me these ones as well. Hui USB 5-volt LED strip light. These are the wrong ones. So I have 3 sets of wrong lights for my desk. This is not another set. These are actually projector for my phone. All right, Pete, hope that helps you out. Those lights are exactly what my cat needs for when she starts yowling at 4 a.m. Speaking of 4 a.m., last night as I was up again with a bird outside my window, screaming at the top of its lungs, mockingbird, I did a little Google, and I found out that mockingbirds, particularly the male mockingbirds, if they don't have a mate, will at nighttime, when it's quiet and the sound carries the furthest, will scream at the top of their lungs, hoping that a female will hear them and say, you've got a good voice. I'll hang out with you. So I have a bachelor mockingbird outside my window who cannot find a mate, and I don't blame the mate because he's as annoying as all get out. Who would want that? So maybe you can supply one. Yeah, I need a female mockingbird is what I need. But in the Cardinal, they sound like space lasers. Need to find a female. The mockingbird needs to find a female or nest somewhere else. Does the male mockingbird build the nest and then attract the female and say, like, hey, is this nest good enough for you? Some birds do that. fractured. I summoned the woodpecker. I'm sorry. They buy the house, yeah. I married an annoying male, says Mel. Can you find a fake female mockingbird on Amazon? Possibly. All it needs to do is chirp a couple times. If that mockingbird don't sing, this one sings. What does all get out mean? It's just a thing you say to when you don't have other words to put in there. It's a substitute for an expletive, I think. If you have a mockingbird, you won't know it because it sounds like all the other birds. Maybe it'll fall in love with a screaming goat. If I could make my screaming goat voice activated. Oh, here's a better idea. They only sing at night. When you turn the light on, it gets quiet. I can take my LED light strip that responds to noise, set it up in the bush where he has his nest, and if he sings, it's going to flash the light. It will teach him not to sing. Is that cruel and unusual? That's the perfect solution. That I could report on it on the podcast tomorrow night. Poor bird. Then he will be single for life. But I will get sleep. He can move somewhere else if he doesn't like the light. You guys are all siding with the bird here. You might have trouble finding a mate, and then you'll never be rid of him. That's messing with nature. You need a trail cam so we can see. Not cool at all. What about me? How do I rank? That's a weird light display. Why is it only on one bush? Hubby had a mockingbird learn his work ringtone and kept making him think his phone was ringing. Thurston County has a quick jury trial going on. What's up in our favorite place? They have bad weather up there as well, don't they? Thurston County Courts. Let's see, they've got DV going on. Court 1's not live. Court 2 is live, but it's domestic violence. Court 3 is live. Not sure which one that is. And Court 4 is not live. Which courtroom is it in? Aren't they called mockingbirds for obvious reasons? Yes. The joke will be on you. The mockingbird will learn what the lights do, and then you'll have a full-on disco going on outside your window. I'll have a beatboxing mockingbird when we're done. Short Life Creations, the verdict is in. You have to go back about 45 minutes to get it. If you go quickly, well, you'll see it. Maybe if you play owl or hawk sounds, he'll take off quicker. Shannon, I'm looking at that. Obviously, there's a lot of people who are not a big fans of the drama. I'm not a big fan of the drama outside of court, so I'm keeping up with Karen Reed a little bit. Let's see. There's what is the last trial hearing going on now, or is that yesterday? Let's see what Judge Boyd is doing. She's in a break right now as well. See, here's our Thurston County one. Let's jump to that.
And Miss LeBlanc, I see you logged in there, and we'll take up your case as soon as we get Miss Langley here. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Miss Langley.
And then let's see, Mr. White. I think you also had a
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Snedden.
He always is out walking when he's in court.
Yes.
We've seen him before.
Jake has the motion.
Okay. All right, we'll call Jacob Snedden then.
Oh, at 2 p.m. Eastern today, there's another PTZ Optics live stream where I can try to win a camera. Got that going on as well.
Jacob Snedden.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, I will handle this for the state. Cause number ending 0272. State is moving to dismiss without prejudice.
Okay. All right, then the Snedden case is dismissed. Let's see, I don't see any bail posted. Got to check for orders too. No,
And there might need to be a release of property with regard to the firearm, Your Honor.
I will leave that to the parties.
Fair.
Okay, but yeah, Mr. Snedden's matter is dismissed. I see he's logged in there. And Mr. Snedden, I don't know if you heard all that, but
yeah,
your case is now dismissed and you're free to go.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good file.
And if we call Schrader, Your Honor?
Get your gun back.
Yeah, Michelle Schrader.
Maisel,
Yes, Your Honor.
Congratulations on 25 months.
I don't know if she's present in the courtroom. I have her authorization to enter a waiver and continue. We're doing some more investigation in this case. Had some questions about some concerns that came up sort of at the last minute. So we're just asking to set this over.
I came in second place last time.
You want it set over for a disposition?
Not necessarily, Your Honor. If we could just maybe I guess, set another confirmation date.
State.
No objection.
Okay. All right, Amy. Look at the calendar a couple of maybe 60 days out or so and put her back on for confirmation and trial. And this period between today and the next trial date will be an excluded period. Okay, we'll get those dates set for you, Mr. White. And then did you have any other cases?
Not in 4, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And there's Miss Lang. Perfect. All right, Miss LeBlanc, you want to come back on? There we go. Miss Langley's here now. Okay, so Miss Langley, I know we were put on for a disposition, but Mr. McClellan gave me a little preview. So how are we doing?
Well, there may still be hope. I just got off the phone with Northwest Resources, and somehow her DP letter got stuck in the administrative process, They're going to try to do it within the next, very short while. So maybe if we can hang on to the end of the calendar, I may have it. And in the meantime, maybe I'll take a breakout room with her and make sure we're good to go if I get it. Will that work?
Sure. Yeah, we'll just stand by then.
Thank you.
Let's see, Mr. Stashevsky, I know you've kind of been coming in and out, but I know you also had a disposition you wanted to do this morning for Mr. Galariana.
Correct, Your Honor, and I just spoke with him. He should be on the Zoom call here shortly, within a minute or two.
All right. Okay. All right, and Mr. Pazderka, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Bergeson case was done yesterday.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll strike that. And I know you have another matter too.
Yes.
Kozliuk.
Your Honor, at this time, she's not present in the courtroom. I have reached out to her, but I haven't heard back. I was expecting her to, and I believe she might be calling me.
All right, stand by there too. And then, all right, I'm going to call Nicholas Robinson. Now that matter was left on the trial calendar, but the panel had been stricken. He was not present at confirmation on March 14th. He is not present now. All right, so
That's
strike, well, trial's been stricken. So at this point, issue a warrant, $1,500. Okay, and Mr. Stashevsky, you also had Tavin Trehuba.
Correct, Your Honor. And Mr. Trehuba is present with us this morning.
Okay, and is that matter going to be ready to go?
Correct, Your Honor.
Is the state going to be ready to go too?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. We'll start addressing that in a minute. All right. Any
Your
luck?
Honor, I apologize. That was not Ms. Kozik. Ironically, just had the same three numbers of her phone number, but yeah, so I don't have representations at this time, but I am hoping that she's just delayed and would ask to wait a few more minutes.
All right. Now we can hold off for a few minutes. I think I see Mr. Galariata is on the call now, if you want to call his case.
Yes, Your Honor. And Mr. Galariata is number 3 on the 9 a.m. and we can speak to his matter now.
All right. Mr. Galariata, can you turn on your camera and microphone, please?
Good
morning, sir.
I think I see you. Can you see me and hear me?
I sure can, Mr. Galariata. And your attorney, Mr. Stashevsky, is here in the courtroom with us. All right. And
he's like, cool.
Mr. Stashevsky, we had Mr. Galariata on today for a disposition.
Correct, Your Honor. And there should be a completed plea form signed by both defense counsel and DPA Holcomb in the judge's folder.
I do see that.
Hello? What?
Okay. You still with us, Mr. Galariata?
Yes, I'm sorry. I thought, did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I'm just making sure that you're still able to hear us.
Yeah. Can you please turn off the vent, Lynn?
All right. So, Mr. Galariata, your attorney, Mr. Stashevsky, has given me a guilty plea to the charge of hit and run attended. Did you want to plead guilty to that charge?
Yes.
Okay. Now you're waiving your rights by pleading guilty to that charge. So you give up the right to go to trial and have the prosecutor prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt to a jury, the right to call witnesses to testify in your defense, the right to hear and question witnesses who would testify against you. You give up the presumption of innocence and the right to appeal your conviction. Do you have any questions about those rights?
No.
Right, the maximum sentence you can get for hit and run attended is 364 days in jail and $5,000 fine. And no matter what anyone recommends, I could impose up to the maximum sentence. Now, you also need to be aware that the Department of Licensing will suspend your driver's license for a conviction for hit and run attended. And did anyone make any threats or any promises to get you to plead guilty to this charge?
No.
Well, you have a plea agreement.
Wait. What? Yeah, supposed to plead guilty.
Yeah, whatever.
What is? I don't understand the question. But can my attorney help me?
Other than the prosecutor's recommendation, other than that, did anyone make any threats or promises to you to get you to plead guilty to this charge?
No.
Okay. All right. And then written on your plea form, there's a statement, and it says, on November 19th of 2024 in Thurston County, I drove a vehicle that I knew was involved in an accident resulting in damage to a vehicle driven by another, and I failed to immediately stop and exchange information. Is that your statement?
Yes.
Okay. That is sufficient. I'll accept your plea. Can I hear from the state first?
Yes, Your Honor. One moment, please. They would just ask the court to follow the agreed upon recommendations. This is negotiated between the parties.
Okay. All right, Mr. Stashevsky.
Yes, Your Honor. Defense would also request that the court follow the agreed upon recommendation in relation to the court's discretion in reducing any fines related to negligence too. Just note that Mr. Gallarriata is a stay-at-home father, and they have a 10-year-old child that they support, and that's kind of some of the basis of the request to lessen that fine as much as the court is able to.
All right, Mr. Gallarriata, would you like to tell me anything before I decide?
No, thank you.
He has nothing to say. He's polite about it. I hear a bird. You hear it?
Mr. Gallarriata, I will defer the imposition of sentence in your case for 12 months. Financial conditions will be a probation fee of $60. Conditions of your deferred sentence will be don't violate the law, don't drive unless you have your driver's license and insurance, and then complete a 8-hour traffic safety course and do that by June 30th.
Okay.
Right, and if you complete all of these requirements at the end of the 12-month deferral period, then the charge will be dismissed. Then the negligent driving second-degree infraction, I'm going to reduce the penalties on that from $559 down to $100. And you can sign up for time payments with the court clerk on that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now Department of Licensing is going to notify you of a driver's license suspension, so it's real important to not drive during that time. Otherwise, you could be looking at new charges and getting your deferred sentence revoked.
I understand.
Any other questions, Mr. Gallarriata?
Nope.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Mr. McClellan, any updates?
Yes, I learned that counsel was present for Mr. Goodall-Rigdon. It was just a colleague of Mr. Ansing, so I didn't see his name, but I believe.
Yes, good morning. That will be me.
Okay, great. So we are ready on that matter, I believe.
Okay, so that's Jeffrey Goodall Rigdon. All right, I understand he's in the hospital.
Yes, Your Honor, he's still in the hospital, so Mr. Ansing is asking for a 3-week continuance if that's possible, so he can appear on Zoom and enter into the disposition or SOC.
And is that going to be acceptable to the city?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Let's get them a date in about 3 weeks. Stand by here. I'll get you a date.
Thank you.
April 22nd at 9 a.m.
Got it. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe excuse at this time. I have no further matters.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
She gone. Who's the new Reed attorney? Bedslow was out, right? It was somebody else.
Getting to the point where we're going to have to call the Trey Huba case and get started with that. I don't think we have a whole lot to cover.
Leslie's been here a long time.
All right. So, Mr. Trey Huba, can you come up and join Mr. Stashevsky at the table?
A former alternate juror? Whoa!
Oh, sorry. No worries.
We're moving you along there, Mr. Pasterka.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we're calling Tavin Trehuba for a 804651 for trial. Good morning, Mr. Trehuba.
Oh.
All right. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Stashevsky, is Mr. Trehuba ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And before we go any further than that, do both parties consent to me hearing this case for trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, very well. All right, I know you had some pretrial motions a couple of weeks ago with Judge Buckley, and he issued rulings on those. So I don't have any personal knowledge other than what the general rulings were. So if there's anything relevant to those rulings, you may need to inform me about that for conduct of trial purposes. All right. Other than that, though, I don't believe there's any other. Yeah, I don't see any other issues that have been raised by either party.
Your Honor, just yesterday I filed motions in limine.
Victoria George.
They're not
a
lot of them, but I had a couple that I wanted to address.
Did you get them?
Yes, Your Honor. And the city, the state is asking the court to deny the motions in limine. They were not filed timely. Ms.
Pepsi,
there were also 2 transcripts that were provided to the state yesterday, I believe at around 4 p.m. Those are also not timely. This court doesn't do trial by ambush, and that's
what's going on. I don't even have these filed, so.
The transcripts, Your Honor, we paid for a transcription service to do a transcription of body cam footage that was disclosed to defense by the state. Okay. The motions in limine, I acknowledge, were filed yesterday. I do think they are kind of crucial to the case, and if the court would entertain a good cause exclusion, if that's what the state requires for those to be considered, then that is what defense would ask for.
Well, what are the motions?
But principally, Your Honor, one is to exclude evidence that Mr. Trehuba refused a portable breath test on the night in question.
That's a bad sign.
The other main one was to exclude any testimony that Mr. Trehuba had consumed alcohol the evening of the event in question. And then finally, the other principal one was to limit testimony regarding the horizontal gaze nystagmus, what the officer can testify to in relation to that test.
Okay.
And
now, those are all motions to suppress under either Rule 3.6 or 3.5. Those aren't motions in limine. Those aren't conduct of trial motions. Under local rule 3.7, those motions under 3.5 or 3.6 to suppress are due 35 days before trial. Just like the motions that you already had heard and could have had, those could have been heard at the same time if they've been filed.
And that's on me, Your Honor, that I was not aware of that, or else I would have filed them with that earlier motion.
Now you're
and I
ineffective
I mean, I want to emphasize it because I see some of this, and I'm not, I'm not singling you out, but I see this more frequently now, where attorneys are bringing what amount to substantive motions essentially on the eve of or day of trial, and I really want to discourage that practice. I can't tell you how disruptive that is to try to manage a trial when you're also trying to manage substantive motions at the same time. There's a reason that we have rules on the presentation of motions so that they're done in an orderly way and with enough notice to both parties to be able to actually take the time that's necessary to analyze and rule on those.
Understood, Your Honor, and I appreciate the court's instructions on that, and I will note that.
Okay. Now, objecting to the, a question based on relevance or something like that, I mean, that obviously you're not limited in
had a verdict about an hour ago.
Contemporaneous objections to offered testimony or other evidence, but yeah, if it involves, asking the court to suppress evidence, that's not something that's easy to do during the conduct of a trial. So I'm not sure where that leaves you in terms of the trial or what you anticipate, but I heard something about some transcripts.
Yes, Your Honor, and I provided the state with copies of the transcripts from the discovery the state produced to defense. Yesterday electronically. I have copies here for the court and for the state.
So it sounds like these are just transcripts of a video that the state gave to you.
Correct.
Okay. I don't see this as a big problem. Ms. Kinmucker.
Yes, Your Honor. A couple things to note. So they were sent yesterday at around 4 p.m. Yeah. Right. It's unclear what the purpose of the transcripts is. Defense counsel indicated in the email that they would be used for cross-examination and impeachment purposes. The state has not had a sufficient opportunity to review them. I don't know if what they say in them is the same as what's said in the video. It's right, or how he's going to introduce them. I don't know who the person who did their name is there, but I don't know if they have a certification. There's not like a stamp on it, a seal on it.
What would you like me to do about it? I guess some clarification.
Right. Suppose some clarification from defense about whether they're being introduced as substantive evidence or as like a reference point for himself. It wasn't clear how they're going to be used.
Okay, Mr. Stashevsky.
Yes, Your Honor, a couple things. This is a transcription service that I believe public defense has used on numerous occasions in the past. Defense would also note that this is something the state could have done on their own if they had wanted to do this. It's the evidence that the state produced to us. In terms of purpose, as per my email yesterday, there was no intention to use these transcripts as substantive evidence. It would potentially come in for either impeachment or refreshing recollection, or just for my reference for framing the case and the testimony of the two officers. I was providing it to the state just in full candor, so they had everything. I'm not even certain, to be honest, Your Honor, if the rules required me to disclose that particular piece.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like it's just a different medium of the same thing. I mean, if it's all just taken from, audio, the audio portion of a body cam video that the state provided, it's just a different, like I said, the medium is different, but the content is the same. You see this a lot in trials. There are frequently transcripts made of audio recordings, and usually, if they have to be authenticated, then if they have to be authenticated, then that's just a matter of asking the witness who knows, right? That would be, presumably the law enforcement officer whose body cam we're talking about here. The transcriptionists themselves is not really important in the equation. I don't know. It doesn't sound like Mr. Stashevsky's asking or anticipating using these for any, evidentiary purpose. Not that I've heard. I mean, you're going to encounter transcripts frequently in trial settings. I mean, you'll get that for witness interviews. You'll get that for audio recordings of like 911 calls, things like that. It's common to reduce those to transcript form just for ease of use during trial.
Understood.
Yeah, if there's questions about their authenticity, those are just proper questions for the witnesses who can establish the foundation for them.
This judge is teaching law.
That's normally what happens. I don't know
to attorneys.
That's what will happen here, but that's normally what happens. Okay. Anything else?
No, Your Honor, just highlighting again that I appreciate and respect what the court has stated today in regards to the motions in limine. If those cannot be heard today, and I appreciate that might be the case, we would ask for a good cause continuance for those to be heard on a motion calendar, because I do think they're pivotal to the case.
Your Honor, the state would object to a continuance. These are defense confirmed for trial. These are motions in limine that they filed yesterday that concern more substantive things. But
I think that is absolutely correct. And I'm going to hold you that to Mr. Stashevsky. And I think it's important to do that because you did, in fact, confirm this case for trial. And again, that's something I want to emphasize for everybody is, confirmation for trial is a go, no-go decision. And when you confirm, you're telling the court that the case is ready in its present form, barring some emergency that you couldn't know at that time, to go to trial. And I think that these are motions, the way you described them, that could have been raised well prior to the confirmation. And if it's just something that happened to occur to you after you were looking at the case after confirmation, maybe the lesson here is that you're not getting a continuance for that purpose. That's self-inflicted.
That's fair, Your Honor. In relation to the motion to exclude testimony that he had been drinking the night of, that is an argument based principally in relevance. And
I would expect you to make an objection if you have one during the testimony of whoever's going to offer that evidence. Right? Wouldn't that be a relevance objection?
Yes, and I'm prepared to raise that during trial. And I just on the portable breath test, Your Honor, I understand that it's clear as a matter of law that evidence couldn't come in as evidence even if Mr. Trehuba had blown in the portable breath test. And I also believe the law is very clear that a refusal of the portable breath test, clearly as a matter of law, it shouldn't be admitted as either.
I don't know. That's kind of a blanket statement. And I don't know if that would be true under the circumstances here or not. I don't know if it's being offered or for what purpose or under what circumstances. So it's difficult to say in advance.
Your Honor, the other issue is there's a additional jury instruction that was filed by defense. Flag that for the court. I don't know if that's made it into your folder. It was filed yesterday, I believe, around noon. At 12:57.
Any jury instructions?
Send it to the clerk if you'd like.
This lawyer has done a terrible job at prepping for this case. Now the client is going to bear the burden because the stuff he wanted to exclude is coming in.
I'll send that to Madam Clerk.
I think the client has a good shot at ineffective counsel appeal, if should he lose. Sounds like it's a DUI case as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Prosecution's a new attorney. The gentleman in the light jacket is a mentor attorney that often mentors new attorneys that appear in this courtroom. So that's what we're waiting for right now. Is slow mode still on? I'll fix it. Fixed it. I turned it off for now. Samantha, you're out of slow mode temporarily. If they're about done, it is lunchtime here. We might wrap up for lunch. Start taking a look at our next case when we come back. Yeah, they're taking forever. It's all pretrial stuff. I don't think we're going to be in jury anytime soon. Yep, it's lunchtime. I'm calling it. Tomoto Troy says, I'm feeling slow mode today. Feeling it. Any hints on the next case? Click the subscribe button, ring the bell. We're waiting. There's one in jury selection. We're trying to see if it's going forward, and if it does, we might be there. We also have Karen Reed coming up, and as much as I don't like the drama outside of the Karen Reed trial, I'm very interested in what happens inside the Karen Reed trial, and I'm just trying to determine if we want to sort of reserve the spot for Karen Reed, which begins here shortly, beginning of April, and see what happens there. So jury selection will probably be weeks in Karen Reed. I think we've got enough time for one more small case before then. But that's about it. I'd rather watch Vallow. Vallow's a challenge. we're gonna discuss things with the mods over lunch. We're gonna break for lunch. Get a break. I'm still trying to get over the incredible verdict we watched of not guilty in the Nichole Rice trial, which is just crazy. Valo's wild, and it's crazy for a couple reasons, but. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. We'll go live again after lunch. I haven't built the portal yet. So I'm still waiting to see if we have a case to go to with jury selection in process. Can top mark stream Valo if you don't? I'd have to look. I haven't finished appropriate paperwork for that. I'd have to look. It's going to be interesting, Pro Say. It's going to be crazy is what it's going to be. All right, you guys have a great lunch. I'm going to do a little bit of homework. We'll be back this afternoon. Give us an hour or so. We'll be back for more either court hopping or a jump to a new trial. Soon. All right, have a good one, guys. We'll see you.